Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 65 of Punching Up, Last Stand Media's weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, as always. Got a special show today. We have a special guest, but first, let me go to my two regular lovely co-hosts, Mr. Gene Park. How are you? Good to have you back.
It's actually weird that you went with me first, because it would have been better if I went second, because then I can transition into, I just came back from Super Nintendo World.
Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry about it.
Now we got to go in between, like, whatever Micah is going to spout, like, whatever nonsense Micah is going to spout next.
Well, it's about how you're catching up to One Piece, right, Micah?
Yeah, that's what Micah's up to.
You're a huge
right
One Piece fan now.
Yeah, Dustin immediately, like, blasts through my wall like the Kool-Aid man. Like, One Piece, you say?
Yeah. That'd be the dream.
Yeah, but I'm back from Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great time, and we'll definitely be chatting a bunch about that later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, Mrs. Micah Moriarty. Micah, how are you?
Hello. I'm quite poor, actually.
Uh-oh.
We have several days of rain in the forecast, which means no grilling. And so I literally planning dinners and not being able to use the grill right now. It's just got me real down in the dumps. Like I don't know. We're doing cold cuts tonight. I'm actually looking forward to that. And then tomorrow's going to be like big salad, but it's just not the same.
I know.
It's summer. I want to be out at the grill, but we got like 3 days of rain here.
Damn. Yeah. Well, you'll get out there soon enough. Just got to deal with it for a little bit.
I saw a new recipe that I'm going to try, and I can't wait to tell everyone about it once I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get into that. And of course, our special guest, RogersBase. Roger, good to see you, man.
Thank you very much.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, I've known you actually for a very long time when I thought about it. Since like the early Easy Allies days.
I feel like I'm like that with a lot of people. Where time just kind of progresses, and then I don't realize, like, all of a sudden, it's been a decade. Like, here you go.
Yeah, so. I was like, geez. But I saw you in December at a Final Fantasy event.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, got to get you on the show. You huge Nintendo guy.
We were mid One Piece conversation actually during that too. It was weird. Yeah. It was the middle of like a Final Fantasy event, and people were coming up to me and be like, "Have you read the last chapter yet? We have to talk." About
yeah, we were talking about it. It was funny. But
thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you. I'm happy we could finally get it going. Just in case anyone doesn't know, Roger, let them know what you do. YouTuber. Sure. You've been doing it for a long time. What do you specialize in?
So primarily, I do Nintendo and anime content. Those are my two big ones. And particularly not even really anime nowadays. It's mostly Nintendo and One Piece.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I just reaction videos, live streams, all that kind of stuff. Travel vlogs a lot recently. Like we've got the Epic Universe one coming up relatively soon. And then I was just at the Nintendo Museum actually last September as well for the preview opening for that. So I had the vlog go up from there. I've got one from Marufukuro coming out, which is like the Nintendo Hotel. So I'm backlogged on content right now with everything coming up for Switch.
I know, man. Yeah, you are busy.
A matter of finding time.
Yeah, you were busy. Did you get one of like the sweet Wiimote pillows when you went to the...
Come on.
Okay.
Let's be real.
Just making sure, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so good. That is awesome, man. I love that. That rules.
I was still happy I was actually managing to bring it back from Japan, too. I feel like there were so many people that were at the Nintendo Museum wondering, like, how are we going to get these giant pillows back?
Yeah.
There were the N64 controllers, the Famicom, Super Famicom controllers. And I was like, come hell or high water, I am getting that thing on a plane. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be my carry-on, but it is going to land on my couch. So,
man.
I chase my dog around with it. I pretend like I'm controlling the remote, and then Obi goes,
it has the B button on the Z button on the back. That's so cool. I didn't even know that. Yeah.
It's got everything.
Oh, yeah, that's so good. Damn, I'm jealous. All right. Before we get in the show, please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia if you'd like to support us. You get early access to these shows, all of our other shows, write-ins, all that good stuff. Got a write-in or a warm-up write-in here from Soulful Bison. I must come to the defense of Micah. Cracker Barrel is built for gamers by gamers.
Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Are we getting into a Cracker Barrel discussion?
We're getting into Cracker Barrel right now.
They have a direct correlation. You were like, what do these two have in common? How can we throw this back? I don't know if you know this.
I don't know this.
Okay, let me explain.
Okay.
One of my earliest sponsors on my YouTube channel was actually Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. So I grew up absolutely loving it. Their apple pancake breakfast, like 10 out of 10. And I think it was around the time I hit like 80,000 or 90,000 subscribers. I sent them a message and I was like, could I do something maybe fun for like a video? Because I made a 1-to-1 Cracker Barrel in my Animal Crossing where I had played a hamster as a little chef. I swear it was so cute. And so I sent it to them, not ever expecting to hear anything back. And then basically, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, they opened the first California Cracker Barrel in Victorville, which is about like an hour and a half out from LA. And they invited me to go to the grand opening of the first California Cracker Barrel. Cool. So we did a whole vlog from the event and everything. And I brought my Animal Crossing game. At the time, I still had like 3DS. I don't think New Horizons was out at that point. So I brought my 3DS like with the little Clay the hamster Cracker Barrel basement, and I've been a big fan ever since. So yeah, man, there you go. So see, there's the tie right there.
I know, yeah.
Who knew it would be Cracker Barrel?
I know. Micah is a big fan of Cracker Barrel, and we got into it last episode.
I mean, like, dude, Brad was surrounded by Cracker Barrels on his recent vacation, and he didn't go to one.
No one wanted to go to it when I was with.
Why?
I was in Tennessee.
Brad?
By myself.
Oh, you can't go to a restaurant alone? I go to a restaurant
I'm with my
alone.
family.
Especially for apple pancakes, bro.
They're a bunch of squares,
I didn't know about that. Dude,
catfish? Insane.
Dude, I went to Culver's. Everyone's giving me shit about that because I didn't get a burger. I didn't know the meta, man. I didn't know what was going on.
I wouldn't have known that either. I've never experienced Culver's. So.
We don't have Culver's here, man. I don't know it.
The Butterburgers are so good. You guys
I didn't know, man. I didn't know,
back
man.
To back.
Everyone's disappointed. All right. While you wait for your flapjacks, you can play checkers or even the Dark Souls of Cracker Barrel games, the pay game. So woke modern audience crap. Either the game has the balls to call its audience just plain dumb if you lack the skill necessary. No hand-holding, just old-fashioned boots on the ground type tabletop time killer. Brad and Gene, I don't know if you can even handle it. I will go have a wonderful life and listen. Damn.
I have an extra one of those peg games, literally with the Ignoramus thing that's written on it. So you need one. I'll bring it to the next Final Fantasy.
Dude, I'll be at SGF, Roger.
There you go. 2 weeks.
I'll bring a backpack. You bring the stuff.
Cracker Barrel Triangle.
Bring the merch. Yeah.
Challenge. Yeah.
Oh man, so crazy.
That's awesome.
All right, let's talk about our first news topic. Roger, Gene, you guys were both at Super Nintendo World in Orlando.
We were.
Quickly, I want to start with Gene first, because I know, Roger, you've been to the one here as well in Hollywood.
Yes.
So let's start with Gene. Gene, what did you think, man? How was it?
Yeah, it's, not to bury the lead here, but I got to meet Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yes. Yes, you did. That's cool.
And actually, shout out to Roger. I was actually fairly nervous about my interview. And, the interview is very restricted to only talking about the park. They're like Mr. Miyamoto won't talk about anything else, literally anything else,
Yeah.
But I brought up like his anecdote about Zelda, and how Zelda got started, right? Exploring the backyard and his forest, and it's like trying to connect that to how he designed the theme park. And they said, "Can you not ask that?" And I was like, "Why?" It's because it mentions Legend of Zelda, so it's like very restricted, like in terms of like what we can talk about. So I asked Roger and Xeon over Nintendo Life for some ideas, and they gave me some ideas. And Roger actually was the one who kind of be like, "Wouldn't it be funny if you asked about how Nintendo and Universal Studios are working together, since Nintendo really got its start by getting sued by Universal over King Kong." And I casually just brought that up, and Miyamoto laughed. He was cracking up. He was like, "Yeah, the world really works in mysterious ways." And he was like, and he said he was joking with Universal, like, "Why don't we have like a Donkey Kong versus King Kong type deal?"
Man, that's
please!
crazy.
Oh my god, the merch would go so hard if they ever ended up doing that.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my god, dude, I would buy the hell out of that stuff. Like the shirt, the baseball cap, like the toys. Just imagine the statue merchandise you can have with King Kong and Donkey Kong.
Awesome.
Like that's like we've been waiting for that for like all our lives, and just to like memorialize the lawsuit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Miyamoto was totally down. Shout out to IGN Brian Antano. Like he actually snuck in a question about a Switch 2. So yeah, like it's clear that like all the journalists were definitely just trying to like hit it from different angles, And this was like Brian Antano's second time, and this is my first time. So it was real interesting, and it was in a room. It was like in a tucked away hidden room in the middle of Universal Resort Orlando. It had a fireplace.
Oh, that's nice.
And like
that's fancy.
Like if you look at the photos, and I know maybe Dustin can pull up the photo of my article, but like he's sitting by a fireplace in a very like world's most interesting man type chair. So like I feel like we probably took like some of the best photos of him like ever, because like Miyamoto himself is like rarely like photographed outside of like promotional photos and like social media photos. Like people saw him out and about in the park the day before we got to interview and we got to see Super Nintendo World. So that was incredible. So shout out to Nintendo. Thank you for that opportunity. I know it's a very rare opportunity to talk to Miyamoto. So I was really incredibly
that's like one of your bucket list interviews, or was.
It's my bucket list interview. There's only one person left, and it's Bob Dylan. It used to be Kanye West. It used to be Kanye West. Kanye was the other one. It was Bob Dylan and Kanye as my final two on my bucket list, but I've slid Kanye off that list.
Hey, one more to go. All right, made it easier.
Bob Dylan.
Very easy, as you might say. It's mostly because I just don't know what I would expect. Like, is he gonna walk out in a KKK outfit? You
don't know. Yeah, you never know with that guy.
Like, is he gonna make me say something? I don't know. I just never know. So, and Bob Dylan will never happen. So I pretty much like reached the end of Gabe Newell.
Never say never. I was going to say never say never. There was literally just a Bob Dylan movie. They're probably going to do some type of HBO show or something in a while. Like, you'll have your opportunity.
Yeah, maybe they'll make a video game of the Timothée Chalamet movie,
There you go, right?
Anything's possible,
Yeah. Sony, get on it,
Well, Sony, I think, is producing the Legend of Zelda movie, right?
Yes,
and so Timothée Chalamet, if he plays Link, maybe they invite Bob Dylan to the premiere of that. We sneak it in, like we make something happen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just call it the Bob Dylan the movies. Just like remember when BioWare was calling Anthem the Bob Dylan the video games?
I do. Yeah, that was like its code name, right? Like Dylan or something.
Yeah, they call it Dylan. That's like insane hubris to call your thing like the Bob Dylan anything.
Yeah,
that's pretty insane.
Crazy.
That is insane. Yeah.
But yeah, Miyamoto down on my bucket list, and I was very grateful for that. And I was very nervous too. Roger saw me being nervous,
Oh yeah, right beforehand. But you did a great job. You did a fantastic job.
Yeah. It was great, and it was like a very quiet room. Like everybody had to be quiet. Like I could even hear people downstairs be like, "Shh, Gene and Miyamoto are talking."
Yeah. But yeah, you have an interview up in Washington Post. I recommend everyone go read it. I read it. It was very good. So yeah, well done, Gene. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Photos in there. Your photographer who took them, or was that you?
No, that's my photographer, Zach Whitman.
Nice.
He is a Florida-based documentarian and photographer, and really cool guy. Actually, a Bob Dylan fan. So we actually had. So I actually talked to him about like, this is my bucket list. I only have Bob Dylan left, and he was like, "No shit, you love Bob Dylan, like me too." And he's a young fella. Younger than me anyway, so it was really pretty cool. And like he played a bunch of like Nintendo games, like so it was like his first time meeting Miyamoto, so like it was like a huge deal.
That was probably sick for him.
That's
cool.
Like he was like, I can't believe I'm like shooting a portrait of Miyamoto. Like this is like he jumped on the chance like right away. Like because he covered the actual opening of the Super Nintendo World. Maybe this is a good transition into the actual park itself. But he actually covered the park opening itself during the preview event last month, and he did that for other, I think, Wall Street Journal actually. And then we sent him this assignment. And he was like, we need to go back there again. And we told him no, but we actually need a portrait of Miyamoto. And he was like, oh, fucking sign me up, man. Baby. I'll gladly go back. So so this was actually his second time going back to the park.
Nice.
And this was my first time. And I remember it was a Japan one that opened first, right, Roger?
Yeah, so the Japan one opened first, and it was just Mario and Yoshi. Then Hollywood got it, and it was just Mario. They cut the Yoshi ride from it. Then USJ got the Donkey Kong Land, and it was supposed to open like last summer, but then they ended up delaying it. And then I think it opened in December. And then now this big opening, like the Super Nintendo World with Donkey Kong Country in Orlando, is kind of like the culmination of everything. We were sort of joking it's like the third time's the charm, right? Like all the other ones were kind of beta tests, and like this is the actual real Nintendo World. Yeah. It's like bigger and better, and all the rides are there. So yeah, it was really cool to get to experience it.
Yeah. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on like how much bigger it is. But for me, like, Miyamoto said in my interview, like his first wow moment was really just stepping out of the warp pipe and out of Peach's castle and just seeing like the world like around you.
Right.
And like I said this on Constellation too with Dave Jaffe, but like it really was like the quote unquote step out moment, like walking out of the vault shelter in Fallout, or walking out of the cave in Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
And you just actually see the world open up for you, and it's like, wow, that really is like a video game like experience, like recreated in this video game theme park,
Yeah.
It's all Mario shit, and you see the piranha plants like bouncing up and down, and you see the Goombas like
spinning coins,
spinning around, and coins spinning around, and it's like, oh man, like this is the illusion. And there's like little corners and secret like passageways that you can go to, like, all this stuff has been reported, like I think so. Roger, it's fairly similar to the actual other parks. I look at the layouts, like Donkey Kong looks like the same Donkey Kong in Kyoto, actually.
So I did not see Donkey Kong when I was at USJ. So like I said, we were talking about this right before we started recording, but I went to USJ the day after the Nintendo Museum visit last year, and they were still built. Well, in fact, no, the building was done for Donkey Kong Country, but they didn't let us in. We weren't actually able to go in. So we could sort of see, where the portal was that said Donkey Kong Country? Sure, it was basically like a door that was closing the thing off and you couldn't go any further. But I think it was pretty much like all built and done behind there. I will say it does feel like Super Nintendo World, like the main Mario World portion, feels slightly bigger in Orlando than it was in Japan. It is certainly bigger than the one that's in Hollywood. And I even noticed that, like, when I went to the Japan one last year too. I feel like the Hollywood one is all kind of at one level, and you've got the sort of like escalated area with the Mario Kart ride, right, where you go like up that staircase,
really,
and then through like the Bowser's mouth. It is totally different from that in Orlando. So Orlando, you have that sight line with the Bowser Castle and the Yoshi Adventure and the Kitty Yoshi ride and all this stuff going around. But then there's like that little staircase that goes down where you could get the full view of everything. It's got the Toad meet and greet area, the Toad Cafe, right, the gift shops. And so it feels significantly bigger and definitely like more awe-inspiring when you see the one in Orlando than the one that's in Hollywood. I still love the one in Hollywood because it's 10 minutes from my house. So like the fact that I could just, with my annual pass, go park over there and get lunch at Mario's.
It's cool.
I wish I could just have one down the street, like imagine that. I would go there like once a month at least, probably, Oh,
easy. But it's not the same. This one's definitely better. Like, pretty much, in every way.
Yeah, what I was most impressed about was how like as Roger was talking about, how everything is stacked. It's very like it's working in stacks, like Toadstool Cafe is down here, and the Peaches meet and greet is up here in the Northwest, up on the upper level, but then the Yoshi ride, like the baby ride, like gives you like a really, really like good tour of the entire park and everything like that. So it looks like you're kind of like flying over the Mushroom Kingdom on Yoshi, Really, really cool stuff. I couldn't believe it. Makes you want to like clown up Mount Beanpole, I feel like, like I feel like I want to be Link and just like climb up on everything, but you can't.
That's coming. Don't worry, Link Zelda Land is coming.
We got a question about that later. We'll get into. So I'm curious about the process then when you guys got there. What was their kind of rollout for you? Did they guide you guys on where to go kind of in an order, or did they just kind of let you loose?
So that I actually kind of want to know this from Gene's perspective, because you were there a day earlier than I was, right? Like, because I had arrived on Monday, like midday, and they basically ushered me and the other like travel influencers to go to this like VIP dinner thing, and then took us on a tour of the Islands of Adventure and some of the other parks as well. So I actually didn't even step foot in Epic Universe until the next day. But I believe you were there the day prior, were you not?
I was there the day prior. It almost sounds like we had the same day, because I also went to the Epic Adventure, or not Epic Adventure, but just like the regular Universal Orlando Resort. And which was good for me because it's been over like a decade since I've been to Universal Orlando. I've been there before, but I just wanted to get a good sense of scale of the whole park relative to Super Nintendo. And Super Nintendo is like rather really big actually compared to like even the Harry Potter verse or the Jurassic Park world or whatever like that. So I was, and I mentioned this in Constellation again, but I was in a VIP tour group just randomly. With like a bunch of like beautiful TikTok girls, like And I was like, oh, what's your audience count, right? And she just has like 4 million TikTok followers. Like, oh, mine's not as big. And it's like, oh, it's 1.8 million TikTok followers. I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't realize I'm actually like,
that's crazy.
With like social media royalty along this ride or whatever. Jeff Keighley was also on the VIP.
Yes, oh, nice. He was there. Yeah, him and Justine. Yeah, for sure. Saw them both.
Yeah. So I actually hung out with Jeff at the media center for a little bit. We talked about just industry stuff and whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, so I just we just did a tour of Harry Potter stuff. I know nothing about Harry Potter, so I was like, cool, I'm in the Harry Potter world, and here's the Harry Potter town, and I'm on the Harry Potter train.
Yeah,
but the Harry Potter town looks really, really good. I was like, holy shit, if I love Harry Potter, it's like Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I fucking hate Harry Potter, right? But if I love Harry Potter, like, that shit is awesome. Like
that's exactly, we're maybe getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. That's exactly how I felt about the Harry Potter land in Epic Universe, too. Because, like, for me, I have a vendetta specifically against the Harry Potter land in Orlando because they replaced the Amity Island Jaws ride. That whole thing got replaced. So literally when I was there back in like 2018 or 2019, I was walking over to like all the wizards being like, where are the sharks? Like where can I find the sharks? And they're like, well, we don't have sharks in Wizardland. I'm like, get out of here. All right. Take me back to Amity Island.
Yeah, but
I was in the same exact situation where I was like, I could care less about Harry Potter. But on the day where we went to Epic Universe and we went in like that new Wizarding World park that's like based on Paris. And I don't know if you guys have been playing Expedition 33, but like for me, as I'm walking through the streets of like this Parisian Harry Potter land, I was going like la 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 la. It hit at just the perfect time, and I was like, having.
I kind of wish I went to that just to clear obscure role play,
So you didn't go through the queue ride? I mean, the queue line for the ride.
No, I didn't. I was only there for Super Nintendo World. Like, I don't care about anything Universal. Like, I was saying, like, there's a whole community for How to Train Your Dragon. I did not know that there is like a whole fandom for How to Train Your Dragon, and so there's a whole park, and people go nuts over the franchise.
There's a park? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Dude, it's a full park with like animatronic flying dragons and like really good food. It's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, you see Toothless or whatever. I don't fucking know.
That's insane, yeah.
Micah, do you know How to Train Your Dragon? That's your generation.
I was actually too old for it. I did see it at the nail salon, though, a couple months ago. They usually have one television. They have one television, usually has a children's like program on it, and then they have true crime usually on the second TV. And sometimes the true crime kind of gets a little too intense. I start watching the children's show instead. So I saw like 3/4 of it. It was quite good. I liked it.
Yeah. Apparently it's a whole fandom, and I know that. So
I have to like the minorest segue. I can't believe they're doing a live action How to Train Your Dragon only because all the dragons look exactly the same because they're all CGI anyways. And I'm like, this is stupid. I mean,
to be fair, same argument. That's exactly the same argument with the Disney movies too. I feel like you see like they have the Lilo and Stitch remake coming out. It's literally just CG Stitch. It's the same thing. Like it's all it ever is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I gotta watch the Lilo and Stitch movie because apparently like they changed so much of it.
Oh, really?
I'm upset. I'm never gonna watch that.
I heard they made some terrible changes that I need to see it. So.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
See, I swore off so many of the live action Disney ones after the train wreck that was Beauty and the Beast. I saw Beauty and the Beast and just like,
wow.
How do you get Ewan McGregor, all right, to be Lumiere, star of Moulin Rouge, and you still make it ass? How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I gave it after Aladdin.
With the Will Smith genie.
Yeah, the Will Smith genie. Oh,
man, that's funny.
It was directed by Guy Ritchie, the awesome British director. And it's like one of the worst things I've ever seen. I was just like, oh my God.
See, random point of connection, though. I was just reading an article about Guy Ritchie. It was posted in the barbecue forums because he apparently said that he's been grilling every day for the past 25 years.
What?
And I'd never heard of him except that he was Madonna's ex-husband, so I didn't know who he was. And then Colin's like, he's a famous director. I was like, Madonna's ex-husband. I know who this is. I know who it is. But apparently he's like a prolific griller. So
I can't believe Micah found a grilling angle.
Dude, Micah always finds a way.
That's crazy.
Grilling master.
Yeah.
Gene, talk to me about
what we're talking about. Super Nintendo World.
Yeah, talk to me about some of the rides you went on, dude. Let's start with the Mario rides. What was your favorite?
So I actually didn't do most of the rides. I only did.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I only did. Well, I did Donkey Kong. Well, I guess there's only 2 rides, right? I didn't do Mario Kart actually because
you didn't do Mario Kart.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah, there's 4. Yeah, there's 3 rides and a hidden attraction ride that's in
What's
there.
What's a hidden attraction ride?
So basically, when you have your little power band and you're going through the park, there's a secret doorway that opens up when you get the keys to Bowser Jr.'s like bomb wall thing.
Whoa!
Where you take down Bowser Jr. and it opens up this little secret passageway with like an inked up Mario Sunshine Bowser Jr. statue, and then you walk into a room, and it's kind of like the thing in the Nintendo Museum where you're using your shadow to like fling bombs at things, and basically Bowser Jr. is flying around, and you're smacking bombs back at him.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
I think I was there. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the hidden last attraction. There's like the Yoshi one, the Mario Kart one, and then the Donkey Kong.
I just stumbled into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go. You didn't even do
stumbled into it.
You just walked right in.
yeah. I just stumbled into the side quest, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like a whole video wall, and like you have to like. Yeah. What? Okay. Well, I did that apparently too. Then.
Okay.
Did not know it was a secret. That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But that was like one of the hidden tucked away things I was talking about. I was like, ooh, what's here? You know, like it's crazy. And the Yoshi ride is like again like very baby, like it's like the slowest thing ever.
Yeah, is it like Alice in Wonderland or something, Roger?
Very much so. Yeah, okay. There are some really cute little Easter eggs in there though. So like one in particular for people who are fans of the Universal Parks is there was this little like raptor baby duo that was on the old Jurassic Park ride that were fighting over like a bag of goodies, and basically they did the same thing with 2 little baby Yoshis.
That's funny.
On the Yoshi ride, so you've got the little like the stoned looking like baby Yoshis from Mario U, like pulling back and forth on each other. They're really cute. So
that's really funny.
Yeah, it's a fun little ride. Yeah.
And Donkey Kong is awesome too. Like it makes you think that you're about to like crash into shit, or like you're about to like, you're about to like fall. Yeah,
we're gonna get a Donkey Kong Country for sure. I'm just curious. So there is Mario Kart, which is pretty much the same. I assume is here pretty much, right, Roger?
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same. Like I said, the queue area is slightly bigger, so there's a couple extra rooms when you're walking through. Like, there's like the Bowser room with his map in it, and then like, so there's more stuff that's like that. But for the most part, the ride is still the same. It's still got some practical elements, but for the most part, the actual like excitement is happening on the visor. Whereas Donkey Kong is entirely practical. So like you're seeing the holes in the ground with the rails, and as the minecart's jumping, awesome. You're like, where the heck am I going? And then you see, Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong and the Tikis and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. Yeah.
So
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. I guess let's talk about Donkey Kong Country or whatever. How was that compared to, I guess, Mario Land?
I mean, I personally liked it more. I've never been much of like a Mario fan, at least in terms of the platformer games. Like I like the characters of Mario, but I feel like Donkey Kong World is something that just directly appealed to me. I've always liked the Donkey Kong games, and I really love like the theming in it with the tree house where you do the meet and greet with Donkey Kong that Gene actually taught me at right before his Miyamoto interview. We were doing that discussion for the article. It was right before I wanted to go meet Donkey Kong. They have like the Funky Kong airplane that doubles as the gift shop. There's like a Donkey Konga mini game where you're.
That is the only Funky Kong presence in the park is his fucking crash plane.
Exactly.
I was like, where's Funky Kong, man? Like he's like my Toad. He's like the main attraction to me, Yeah.
One day they'll bring him in.
It's another secret room that you didn't find, and you're just in a very dark room with a pull-out couch, and he's in there, and that's just you didn't find it.
Yeah,
man, that's funny.
He has a good weed, right? That's what I was looking for.
He is Funky Kong after all.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a Donkey Konga kind of area where you're playing on these bongos, and if you play it correctly, like Rambi the Rhino comes chucking out of the box. That's
there's lights or whatever, so it goes like. Like you have to hit it on the beat, and like once you get it, then Rambi. I mean, Rambi just popped out of the box. It was so fun.
It's particularly cool at night. Like I think the Donkey Kong Country area is cool no matter what, but like at night in particular, it was so awesome. Yes. So the very last day, right after you left, they let us do for the grand opening. We could walk through any of the 4 portals just freely, and so we got to go back to. I was with like Marcus from Game Informer, and we basically got to walk through like Nintendo World at night and then Donkey Kong Country at night.
Wow.
I got vlog bombed by Doug Bowser, who just like popped up in the middle of my video as I'm recording.
That's
and he's
funny.
going, "Oh, don't you think this is awesome?" And yeah, the lights in that area are just so cool because the water portion, you know, where you go over with the minecart in the water towards the end of that ride, and there's like the little Pikmin that are off to the side. The water glows at night, and it's this really beautiful kind of like turquoise blue.
Ooh.
And all of the giant like monkey temple thing is shining golden. So the actual like visuals and the colorization of the park is just 10 out of 10. It looks amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I'm jealous. Yeah, I wish.
And
I
the
saw
food. Did you get a chance
Yeah, I was
to
going to ask
try
you guys about food.
the Donkey Kong sundae?
The dong hot dog. Did you get that?
I didn't get the hot dog. They didn't have the hot dog actually, to my knowledge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did not have
They
the
had it in
glizzy,
Japan.
unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah. No Donkey Kong glizzy.
Donkey Kong
yeah,
Dong. No.
Yeah, Donkey Kong dong glizzy.
Donkey Kong dong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't try a lot of the food. I tried like a little bit of like the stuff at Toasto Cafe. Very dry food, not that great.
Sure.
What did you order? See, I got it. You should have gone with me. You made the mistake of going with traditional media. I would have showed you the ropes. I would have been like, this is what you order, Gene. Because there are very specific things on the menu that you should get when you go. Like
I had a bite of the mushroom burger and some fries, and the fries weren't good. Though.
So you didn't get the spicy meatball? The
No.
Bowser meat. Oh, that's like the number one thing.
Spicy Bowser meatball. Wow.
They got the spicy Bowser meatball challenge. Is really good. You get a souvenir Mario plate with it. That's
Whoa.
great. The sauce also in it is delicious. It's actually spicy. I feel like a lot of the time you go to theme parks and they're like, it's something spicy, and it's actually not spicy at all.
Yeah.
Did you get the peach cake at the very least? The
No.
peach is like,
No. Yeah.
brother. Oh my goodness.
I didn't want to eat too. I just didn't want to eat too much before my big interview. Like I just didn't want like any
sure.
like,
You
like
didn't
gas
walk
issues
into
or anything like
Miyamoto's
that, you know?
interview with the peach cake from Mario 64. Say, I
It's
brought
that
this for you,
cake?
buddy.
Is it that
Yes.
cake actually?
It's
Oh my
1-to-1
god.
the peach cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow,
man.
that is
I am bummed
insane.
that I didn't get like a Mario plate though. I wish I was able
Yeah.
to take that home. I gotta go back.
You have to. Yeah, it's a good excuse to go back.
Go back to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I interviewed the executive chef at Toasto Cafe, Robert
nice.
Martinez.
Cool.
So he's the same age as me, 43 years old, and he said he's been working there at Universal for 25 years. He's been a chef.
Wow, okay, he's a vet.
years. It's his whole life, and his dad was a chef too at Universal. So it's a whole family affair.
Oh, cool.
But the funny thing though is that like these chefs can't break character. So when you ask them about like who makes the recipes, they say, "Oh well, Chef Toad has been all around the Mario world, you know, and just to bring all these special flavors for us to execute, you know."
That's so funny.
And then I saw like local like Fox 35 Orlando like to also try to get the same thing, and like the other chef was like, "Well, Chef Toad is doing this and that, and blah blah blah."
That's
like,
awesome.
and it's like. I pulled him aside and I was like, it's just Washington Post. Like, you can just say you made it. And he's like, no, Chef Toad made it. I'm like, all right.
Man, he's committed. I like that.
That's how it works. That's it.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Like fucking Battle Royale, they have a collar over their necks if they say like, oh, I made it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm curious. The Donkey Kong merch, was it new Donkey Kong or old Donkey Kong design?
Oh, Donkey Kong.
Both. So both actually.
Oh,
so the 2D designs are a mix of old Donkey Kong and new Donkey Kong. There was like a photo frame that I got, a keychain thing, and a pin set that looked like a mix. Specifically, Diddy Kong is actually the new Diddy Kong in those because his eyes are similar, which is like a weird minor difference between Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
the Donkey Kong you do the meet and greet for is like the classic Rareware Donkey Kong. So they're in kind of like a weird spot where obviously like they knew that Bonanza was coming, right?
Yeah.
They knew that version of Donkey Kong was going to be there, but I think they just wanted to sort of like full commit to the classic Rare design, considering that's more of what people know. And maybe like on the off chance Bonanza doesn't do as well as I think it's going to do, then they're like, whew, we really dodged a bullet there. We didn't do the new design or whatever, you know. But full disclosure, I've played Bonanza at 2 different preview events, and I think it's going to be incredible. But I still feel like that's probably the reason as to why they did it. And they could always like redo it, but I don't want them to. I saw people beforehand saying that they didn't like the Orlando version of the Donkey Kong meet and greet compared to the Japanese one. And I was like, you guys are wrong. You just have to like see him in person because he's a big burly dude. And he's got the way his hand is molded is so it looks like he can like go in for a pound when you're going in, but then also at the ending, as you're going away, he like moves his finger and it's like a little thumbs up.
That's
so
sick.
they really did think about like how to manufacture the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I saw Donkey Kong in person, and I was like, "What a great costume!" Like they have the audio design of him like beating his chest.
Damn, that's cool.
And it like actually just sounds like he's actually doing it. It's so sick, and he's so cute. And he just like sits in a corner like this, you know.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
little hands like that. Yeah.
Are we gonna get Donkey Kong Land here, Roger? What's going on?
No, damn. I don't think we're getting Donkey Kong.
So we are getting, man. Like, you look at the map for Universal Hollywood because, I was trying to see the side, and it's like, dude, there's like no fucking space there, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we are getting. So this is all rumor. I do not know anything. This is literally all rumor. I just need to clarify that because I don't want a My Nintendo News article written about me. But okay, the rumor right now is that obviously we can already see they're building the Fast and the Furious coaster in Hollywood. That's the one that goes over the mountain. The rumor is that Simpsons Land is going. That Simpsons Land is going to be gone. That Disney obviously has the rights. They don't want them to have it anymore. Simpsons Land is going. And that potentially Simpsons Land gets replaced by Pokemon.
Whoa, that would be crazy.
That has been the rumor. There was, I believe it was like a year or two ago, there was some type of patent regarding like a Pokemon Snap type ride that people were talking about that could go in the building that's like there's like the Simpsons ride.
Yeah, with that it's in.
Car.
Yeah.
So basically they could just gut that whole thing. It turned it into like an animatronic Pokemon Snap ride.
Real life Pokemon Snap would just be...
That'd be insane.
That's so hard. That land in particular would make for like a good transition going down to Nintendo World if they did end up doing Pokemon.
Yeah.
And a lot of the buildings they could just sort of keep as they are and just reskin them to be like Pokemarts and Pokemon centers. And I know there have been talks to do Pokemon in theme parks for like well over a decade. So I think some opportunity may arise soon for them to replace Simpsons with Pokemon. I think that could be cool.
That'd be crazy.
I know there's rumblings obviously about Zelda, and that seems like a shoo-in based on the stained glass windows that are there, right in like the Nintendo store. Yeah. So and Aonuma was literally even seen breaking ground in Orlando. So like that's
really? That's so funny,
bro. Like so Zelda, whether they're gonna say it or not.
Yeah. There's photos of Aonuma and Miyamoto both like in hard hats.
Like, so that seems like a lock. And then the other thing that everyone's saying is that potentially, like within Universal proper, not just like Nintendo, is that there's potential maybe for like an Emerald City Wicked expansion. And if you've been in the Harry Potter area, which unfortunately Gene wasn't able to go in like the new one in Epic Universe, there's like this really cool projection lighting thing that they have on the green tile inside of wherever that place is, like the Ministry of Magic or whatever. It looks to me like that's testing tech for Emerald City stuff. It feels like literally just walking in as somebody who does not know or like Harry Potter. I was looking around at this like amazed at how beautiful it was. And so if they're able to translate that into some type of like Wicked Land, my girlfriend's going to have a fit. She's going to dress up as Glinda. I'll have to dress up as Fiero. We'll have to dance through life. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Let me read this from Publix Chicken Tender Sub. What's up, Mushroom Eaters? It was cool to see Gene here on the local news in Orlando representing the Goon Nation. Question about the future of Super Nintendo World. Do you have any cool ideas about what a Zelda ride could look like? I was thinking maybe a show kind of like Indiana Jones at Disney, or riding a horse, Epona, similar to the Avatar Flight of Passage, but on the ground in the middle of a Hyrule war. Thank you for making me laugh and keeping me entertained while packing or picking up crackheads on the dark streets of O-Town. Oh my God. All right, Zelda ride.
Yeah, are you a police officer? That's cool.
Yeah. I was wondering about Zelda, if they do a Hyrule or whatever, is it going to be based off Breath of the Wild, or is it just going to be like more general Zelda? Because the stained glass things are Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I guess it'd just be that, right?
I don't know. I feel like it also depends on what's going on with the Zelda movie. I think regardless of whether or not people want to look at the signs, I feel like you look at when Mario World opened, that was the same year Mario Wonder came out. You look at Donkey Kong Country opening, Donkey Kong Bonanza's coming out. I do think they like that brand unity. So my guess would be that at some point by 2027, right? Isn't that when the Zelda movies potentially come out?
Something like that.
Yeah, and the Mario movie came out too. Right. Yeah.
So I feel like next year is the Mario movie, right? We're getting the Mario movie sequel. They'll maybe bring like Yoshi stuff to Hollywood if they haven't already with like the fan night things. And that'll tie in with like the Mario World Mario movie. And then my assumption is that Zelda will know for sure if Zelda's coming to Universal by the time like we start hearing things about that movie is my guess. As for the ride, I don't want to put this in the ether because I don't want it, but I feel like this is where they're going to go with it. I feel like the Zelda area is going to be like one enormous escape room. I feel like they're going to try to theme it like a giant dungeon, and that the whole thing is going to be like solving puzzles and like finding Koroks and stuff in real life, and that there may not even necessarily be like a full attraction, that like the park itself is actually the attraction, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
which again I don't want. Give me another ride alongside like the Minecraft Mayhem or whatever, but I do worry that that's the direction they're going to go in. Considering they did that, I believe it wasn't Skyward Sword. There was like some preview event that they did for Zelda like 8 years ago, where it was literally like an escape room where we went in groups of 10 and we were like solving little puzzles and things. And I almost feel like that's a precursor to what the idea is going to be for the park. So, but we'll see.
That's like cool if that's an attraction, or if they do like the Mario Land where there's little things you can interact with and stuff like that. But not the whole area. I don't want it to be all a dungeon or something like that. Yeah. What do you think about a ride though? What would they do you think? If it's a more traditional ride-esque, I'm thinking it's going to be like Link's crossbow training, something like that, like AR.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, like a target test thing. I mean, it's never going to happen, but I would love a Wind Waker ride. I feel like a Wind Waker, like a boat ride would be sick. We have the wave pools and everything, and it's almost like a dark ride, like Small World, but you're going through seeing the story of Wind Waker with the music and animatronics.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There's no way they're going to do that, though.
Going, and just shoot at you. And then the Kraken comes out, too, right?
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. The only thing I have on top of my head is Danpei's Depression Den.
Oh, you walk around dragging your leg.
Yeah.
Just leading people to a hook shot. Yeah.
Here's your grave over here. Come take a look. Yeah, and then they just kill you. You land in
and I hope they have Danpei there. That'd be awesome.
That was my idea, was Dampy's graveyard.
That's so good, though.
I feel like that could totally be something that they build out in the park itself, though, right? Like, I think the idea of like a grave, an animatronic Dampei, and then you're pushing the grave and you hear da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and your little power band. Like,
you know what?
Yeah.
Here's a cheap idea that you can just slot into Super Nintendo World. Just put in the Mask Salesman.
Please.
Just a guy who's creepy and who's fucking playing the music, and he's got all 24 Majora's masks that you can just buy.
That poor guy that's going to hold the bag.
Majora's Mask would make a sick roller coaster. I feel like if you're on the moon and the moon is crashing, or like a tower drop would actually be cool. If you do some type of tower drop and they play da na 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 na, and like, the moon lifts, and then he crashes it down.
That'd be so niche. That'll pop off for like a few thousand of us for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Damn.
That's a good idea, though. Yeah, absolutely.
I do feel like, in terms of the theming of it, though, that they will probably go with the more general Zelda theming. Like, I think that version of Link and that version of Zelda have been seen on a lot of merchandise as sort of like your standard Zelda and Link outside of the Breath of the Wild ones. There's even like the new, it's like the transparent PNG they use for like media assets, and they've used it for like 3 years now. Even though Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have come out, they still use this green tunic Link. The weird thing about it is the Ganondorf being Twilight Princess is bizarre to me. When I feel like the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf is like definitely more iconic.
But I think it's all just the Twilight Princess designs, right? All of them?
On the stained glass. Yeah, it's just Twilight Princess designs. Okay. But that would be weird. I don't really want like a furry petting zoo with Wolf Link. I feel like that can stay away.
You don't want Twilight creatures running around?
No, thanks. Yeah. Maybe Midna meet and greet, post-game Midna would be pretty cool.
Post-game Midna, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, wow.
That'd be a crowded line,
Yeah. You want to talk about Gooner Nation right there. We'll all be running after that.
I guess I don't have it on my wall right now. I was going to pull down my Genshin Impact scroll that I usually have hanging up on my screen.
Imagine the line for post-game Midna.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
It just looks like a con. It's just like all like 40, 50-year-old men. Just like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'll be there. I'll be among you.
Day one.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I was like when Mario and Luigi came out for the cast members photo shoot, I was like, oh fuck, man, whatever, dude. The brothers, whatever. But my priority was finding Toad.
Nice.
Had to find Toad because he does the dance.
He's your boy. Yeah.
He does.
He does the little dance. And I was like, dude, this is so sick. You're just doing the dance right in front of me. That's so awesome.
I love that the Toad in Orlando was not yet jaded as well, because the one in Hollywood, actually, if you ask him to dance, he like slaps your hand away and turns away. He does not do it anymore. Because there were so many TikTokers who were going there, like doing videos with him and like trying to set him up to do stuff. And then like, you know, obviously someone at Universal probably said to the Toad that was in Orlando, like, hey, you got to stick taking videos with all these TikTokers, like doing current dance trends. And so now he just doesn't do it. If he sees that you're like trying to make him dance, he just turns his little body all the way around.
That's so
goes
funny,
like this. And then like he'll pat you on the shoulder before you go.
Gordon Ramsay, Toad, whatever.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, and I found Princess Peach. I missed her at the New York store at the launch of Super Nintendo Super Princess Peach Showtime. But I caught her in Orlando, and she has a lot of voice lines. Like, you can have like a full blown conversation with her. Like she is like she is like one of those AI dolls, you know, but like a real person.
Do not let Nintendo hear you say that.
I know. But
that's funny.
That's kind of what I was like. Is this like what I keep seeing about like all those dolls or whatever? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Oh man. Gene, is there anything else you'd like to talk about your interview with Miyamoto or anything like that before we move on?
With the interview itself, no.
Or the process or information,
yeah. I mean, the thought process was, like other journalists have asked me, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you do an interview that isn't just sticking by PR, which is funny because like this interview totally stuck within PR standards, you know.
Oh yeah, they had a gun to your head the whole time.
Yeah. I was like surrounded by like Nintendo lawyers and Nintendo people around there, you know. Like it definitely wasn't just like me and Miyamoto and the translator. It was like, I was surrounded by the PR folks, right? And they were all recording too. Like they're all like typing. They're like this is like like some meeting or whatever. But I just focus on like, more personal stories, like I'm not really interested in breaking news. Like, IGN asking about a Switch 2, like that's more like, they're trying to grab a headline. And, I'm not poo-pooing on that tactic at all. I think that's a valid tactic and you should be doing that. I'm glad that Brian did that. Right. I'm fortunate that my focus can be just more on like storytelling. Like I want to focus on him as a person, like, how he feels about his legacy, how he feels about, that's why I got a story about out of him about this project that he did during college, where he made a toy box where you learn how to count, but then you can, and I'm not exactly sure, he wasn't really clear on how it is, but it's like this box can be built out into like a world that you can walk into, and like, the counting experience kind of continues from there on. And I was like, I never heard that story before. And I looked at the internet. I was like, oh, he's never told this story before. So it's like, I actually pulled out a new like piece of Miyamoto lore, like this project that he worked on in college, and he's like thinking about that as he's making the theme park. He's like, I'm really just doing the same thing. So, and this was after I basically asked a question like a couple different times. So I'm like really trying to like jog his memory, like as he's talking, he's like, maybe he didn't remember it the first time, but it's like as he's talking, he's like, oh yeah, I actually do remember like my graduation project, and that's why I was really happy to get that. And it's only a 30-minute conversation, so and part of that is also like being taken up by the translator, just like just repeating basically what was said back to me. So there wasn't a lot of time, so it's like I really don't have a lot to work with. But I was able to write a fairly long like profile piece, and this is a dream come true of mine. The whole reason why I enjoy working at the Washington Post and being in the mainstream media is that I want to do like these pieces that are like prestige profiles of video game people, and like letting these people get the same kind of profiles and like treatment and visual layout and photography, portrait photography that you would do for like a Martin Scorsese or a Steven Spielberg. Like any of the luminaries in other art forms. Here is the luminary. This is the most important video game creator in history.
You say that, and we even had this conversation. We were sitting in the media room at Epic Universe. It is funny that like you talking about him in that sense, right? Of like this entertainment luminary as opposed to like a gaming luminary.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like that is what he wants his legacy to be. Like, I don't know if that was sort of what you got from the interview as well, just in your conversation with him. But I feel like over the past however many years, it does seem like he is more at home, like doing the stuff with the Mario movie, doing the theme parks, making the Pikmin short movies. I feel like between Sticker Star and the changes that were made to that and like Star Fox Zero and how that game turned out, I just feel like he sort of has found his groove again within like this IP expansion within the Nintendo verse as opposed to directing games. I think at this point he was like, look, I made one of the best Zeldas, one of the best Marios. I created these characters for God's sake. Like at this point, what else can I do?
Yeah, he's done enough.
It does feel like he sort of has renewed his sense of like wonder and imagination that we all loved him for with a lot of these new external projects that aren't necessarily video games, but are using those IPs. So I was just curious if that was kind of how it came across during the interview.
He talks about that in my piece where he's like, I don't, I'm trying to impress upon people at Nintendo that this is an entertainment company. We are entertainers,
Exactly.
We're not necessarily a video game company,
Yeah. That's what they were pushing at the museum too. That was a whole big talking point from them. Is like that they wanted this museum to be their legacy as an entertainment company, as opposed to just being video games. And like that was prevalent with the whole giant wall of like Disney licensed merchandise they made in the 60s and 70s, and like all the weird Love Tester commercials and the shooting galleries and all that kind of stuff. You would like never really think about Nintendo for, but
he was talking about how he wanted the characters originally to stay within video games because he didn't want video game characters to like be tied to any kind of logic outside of like video games,
Sure.
Like, if there's a Mario movie and he only flies with a cape, then like what people ask when he's flying with a raccoon tail the next time, right? And it's like, no, with video games, like you can just, if the idea is there, then you do it. That's there's no logic or linear narrative that you have to follow. But yeah, he said that over time he's changed about his thinking. Like video games have their limits. There's only so many places that video games can go. And like that's very much in line with what Iwata was doing too. He's talking about the light user versus the heavy user of video games. That Iwata has talked about in the past too. So it really is like just an evolution of what Nintendo is doing. But that's why he says, I'm really happy now that I'm alive to see video games finally become like a multi-generational thing. Like this is what he wanted, and like he's seeing it, so he's happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I try to impress upon people and impress upon him. Like interviewing him is like interviewing John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison at the same time. Like this guy is the Beatles in one person. He's Bob Dylan. He's everything.
Yeah,
that's right. Bring it full circle. Good callback. Bringing it back to Bob Dylan. The actual Bob Dylan in video games.
Bob Dylan.
Actually Bob Dylan. And like that's the thing. Like Koji Kondo. Like I interviewed Koji Kondo, right? And Koji Kondo told me like when he met Paul McCartney like 1 year after Super Mario came out, but Paul McCartney knew the theme song from Mario like 1 year. Man. This is before the internet came out, Like it's not like Paul McCartney's on fucking Spotify or YouTube like, oh yeah, let me hear the Mario theme, like this guy actually played it and he memorized the song like a year later, and he saw Koji Kondo and he was like, oh like that is crazy cultural cachet for like 1985. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's wild.
It's like even Paul McCartney knew like these guys are
Mario theme,
huge. Yeah, these guys are massive.
Just one thing I liked from your interview, Gina. I didn't know this, but he might have talked about it before. I just missed it. Is he was talking about Pikmin is kind of the only franchise that he feels like can cross over easily into other Nintendo things, like putting Pikmin. That's why he has like Pikmin in the park and stuff like that.
Easter eggs everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if we'll see Pikmin in the next Zelda wandering around somewhere.
I actually am going to make a hard read. I think a lot of people are talking about upcoming Nintendo movies. They want like the Mario movie, obviously the live action Zelda that's being made. I feel like Animal Crossing, there already was an anime film, and Splatoon, obviously very popular in Japan. I don't think still has the same like kind of cultural staying power in America just yet. I kind of feel like you have this franchise with a bunch of dumb little dudes that make weird noises, right?
Minions.
With illumination. That like literally there is a Nintendo franchise with a bunch of little dumb dudes with flowers on their heads making dumb noises. It's like, just have the Minions team make a Pikmin movie and make like, just cast like some big name as Olimar or whatever, and the rest of it just have like a goofy little Pikmin movie. And I feel like, knowing how much Miyamoto loves that franchise and how much like it's grown even in the last 5 years, where like you go to the Nintendo stores and now it's up there alongside your Splatoons and Animal Crossings and Marios and Zeldas. I feel like Pikmin is now in a place as a franchise that I think Miyamoto wanted to put Pikmin in like 20 years ago. I feel like Pikmin in 2001 felt like Gretchen Wieners at the table at Mean Girls, where it's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. You know what I mean? It's like, stop trying to make Pikmin happen, all right? It's not going to happen, buddy. And now I feel like it actually has. Now I feel like
it seems bigger than ever, especially after 4.
Yeah, Pikmin 4, Pikmin Bloom. It's like all the different merchandise, the Easter eggs in the the movie not the movie theaters, and like, well, they were in the movies though too. They were in the Mario movie as well. There's little Pikmin Easter eggs in there too, but like in the theme parks. So I feel like Pikmin movie seems like a logical next step for them if they want to continue to evolve that franchise.
Yeah, that's bring up the Minions and kind of link them together. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Miyamoto talk about Pikmin, and the dude clearly loves Pikmin. I saw it firsthand. Like when he starts talking about Pikmin, like he starts smiling, like he becomes so activated. He's really I kind of wanted to move off the question. I'm like, dude, I'm running out of time. Like,
no, Gene, we need to talk about Pikmin more. Come on.
I got it. But
name all the Pikmin types, Gene.
But it was my fault. I brought it up because I was like, yo, you see Pikmin all over the place. Like, that must have been your idea. And like, he was like, oh yeah, that was totally my idea to put Pikmin.
That's funny.
So like, I was able to like actually nail down like, because he was having a hard time like talking about like what his ideas were for the park.
Mm-hmm.
The Pikmin thing was definitely one of them. So yeah, it makes me want to play Pikmin now. I never really got into the franchise.
You got it, Gene. You got it.
So
I know,
I've only played the first one when it came out, so I've been missing them all.
I have the whole series on the Switch. Like God bless him for putting the whole thing on the Switch. But so I should do that. I should.
Yeah,
Pikmin expert. Like,
there's no Switch 2 patch, right, for that? I don't think that was one of the games.
No, I feel like that is an almost guaranteed Switch 2 edition. I feel like they're going to do... The whole thing with Pikmin 4, is like there's stuff with Louis, like his little Olimar's little buddy. I feel like they could do a whole side story, single player, $10 plus expansion with Louis.
That's a good idea,
for like a Switch 2 edition of 4. And then 1 and 2 are, in HD on Switch right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there's 3 on Switch, isn't there? Yeah, you said
3 Deluxe is on Switch too. Yeah, you can play the full, Xenoblade and Pikmin. The entire franchise is available for both of those on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. Roger, you have coverage of Nintendo World and all that stuff on your channel as well.
Oh yes, yeah. There's going to be a whole vlog coming up. I don't know when this is going up, but it should be up by.
This will go up tomorrow for our patrons.
Oh, okay. So Friday this week, there should be the vlog from Epic Universe up with all the stuff with Donkey Kong, covering Nintendo World, all the Pikmin Easter eggs you can find, and then coverage of all the other 3 worlds that are inside.
Excellent. So check that out too.
Well. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's move on to some other news. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D got a launch date today. Oh. Very happy to see this. Comes out on October 30th. 2025 for Switch, Switch 2, and everything else. It's on everything pretty much. What's interesting about this is another keycard game, another third-party keycard game. So, Micah, I thought of you immediately with this because you are a physical enthusiast. Let everyone know what you told me.
Oh, I mean, I immediately just pre-ordered the regular Switch version.
Yeah, you're like, forget Switch 2 version,
I mean, first of all, the cover, ugly. On the Switch 2 version
because
of the game key card thing and all that. It's always like, I'll just get the Switch one. Like, it's the same difference. I'm going to play it on the Switch Lite anyways. Like, it's fine. It's really fine.
That's so bizarre to me that the Switch version is going to be physical and on the cart, and yet the Switch 2 edition is not. I just wonder what the thought process is there. I feel like
I don't know how much spaces are on the Switch 2 cart, like the default one. I'm not sure. Because I think like Cyberpunk Gene is all on the cart, but you have to pay more for those types of carts, which is like, I'm not sure how much space it holds, but apparently not enough. Because like every third party is pretty much doing this for all their games. First party, not yet, but every third party except Cyberpunk. October 30th, I'm pumped about this. I love Dragon Quest and I enjoyed 3. And I haven't played these games all the way through, so I'm very much looking forward to them. Micah, how excited are you?
No,
obviously
very
you bought
excited.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I liked 3. I did end up towards the end turning down the difficulty just because I was sick of grinding levels. I liked it a lot, but not enough to spend 5 more hours with it.
It's very old school in that design, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still really excited to play these and just see where the series comes from, so I'm looking forward to it. And this is just about, for me, you got to set aside the pride and just say, I'm just going to play it on easy if I start getting bored with it. Because I would rather turn down the difficulty than not finish the game because I'm starting to lose interest. We'll talk about it later. I did the same thing with Expedition 33. So
okay, on that one, I feel the arrow to the heart. Dragon Quest I get with the grinding for sure. But, oh my God, Expedition.
That's so funny. Roger, you stoked for these as well?
Yeah, not really.
Not really, not Dragon Quest guy?
No, I am actually.
Okay.
But I'm hit or miss with the franchise. I feel like Dragon Quest 3, I really enjoyed the HD remake. I'm happy that 1 and 2 are still coming out, but I don't, knowing what I know about those games, have any real interest to go back and play them. Especially not with this year. I feel like there is just so much coming out this year between Metroid and Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and, all these other games that are happening, especially in the Nintendo sphere. There's a lot of stuff coming out. So I don't know if it's going to be top of my list. Also, I think my heart is still kind of broken from that news a couple weeks ago about the translation mishap about Chrono Trigger Remake. And
I saw you made that video.
That there was going to be a Chrono Trigger remake. And in my brain, I'm just just give me that. That's nice. I know there's an audience for this, but you made HD 2D, right? You've given me 3. 3 is the favorite game anyway. Just do it, bro. What do you... Give us Chrono Trigger.
It's got to be something with Toei, I'm guessing, tied up licensing and stuff like that.
I just feel it's an emergency button situation.
Maybe,
I feel like it's
glass.
kind of the thing, where Square's wait, we're not hitting projections for this year. Let's, bring out Chrono Trigger HD 2D.
Yeah. Gene, are you going to play these? I know you like Dragon Quest 1 at least.
Yeah. Dragon Quest 1 is the very first RPG I ever played. So, nostalgia-wise, I'll be very happy to play it. The Switch one does have have Dragon Quest 1, but it's the Apple iOS
it's the
version.
mobile version.
Yeah.
It looks really, really ugly. So I'm really happy to get a proper, pretty version. Like Micah, I'm happy to hear Micah said that she ordered the Switch 1 version because when I saw that it was on the Switch 1 as well, I was like, oh, it probably is a keycard version. I think I might actually just buy the Switch 1 version as well.
There you go.
That actually makes it an interesting choice now. It's I am actually choosing to buy the Switch 1 version now because the physical cards are cheaper and I get it guaranteed on physical there.
Yeah.
And I still like my Switch 1 as a console, as a device. So.
And you can still play the Switch 1 games on Switch 2. So
That's
it's
true.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there wasn't that big of a difference with 3 HD, whether you were playing the Switch version or the PS5 version. Obviously, it was a little clearer on PS5. Resolution was good. It ran a little better. But for the most part, it's Dragon Quest. I mean, it's a fun retro kind of RPG. I don't need that thing to run at 120 frames.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's also interesting too because if there is, of course there's PS5 games, but if there is an actual PS4 version of the game, I will opt to get the PS4 version on disc versus the PS5.
Nice. Why is that? Why is that?
I think I just trust the PS4 disc more and the disc drive more than the PS5 and what they're they're not being fucky wucky with it. So I have a PS4 version of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and PS4 version of God of War Ragnarok and
nice
PS4 version of like pretty much every game that has a PS4 version first.
Yeah. I don't think there's a PS4 version. I didn't see it here, but maybe there is. But
Dragon Quest 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Was there one for Dragon Quest 3? I feel like there was.
I don't know. Maybe there was.
Needs to be, yeah.
I'd have to check. Square Enix. I don't know. Okay. Let's move on to the next thing. This is kind of interesting. Switch 2 is out in the wild. Someone posted a video. They have it, unboxing it. And they said it needs an update to play or day one patch to be able to even play, which is very interesting. We knew about this kind of because influencers aren't getting it early and anything like that. Yep. So everyone's kind of in the same boat. But what do you guys think about this? You need to download an update to even, I guess, boot it up.
I think it's kind of smart to be honest. I feel like seeing what has happened with Nintendo in particular with like leak culture and seeing how things kind of get out there, I feel like this is sort of their way to future-proof it and be like, no, nothing's going to get out. Somebody comes out with it. You're not going to be able to show anything. You're not going to be able to play any games on it. I think, from a consumer perspective, I'm sure people are like, oh, that does stink that like you have to download an update day one. But I think realistically with like how secretive they've been, even with Switch 2 and the lead up to Switch 2, right? Like us coming into this year still not knowing like officially what the thing looked like or like what it did. Yeah. I feel like we're in a weird territory with this system in particular. So it's not a huge shock to me that they're, locking it.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, if we're all getting it day one anyway, it's like we all pre-ordered off Target. It's like, who cares? What am I going to do? Like play, you're not going to play Mario Kart early because the servers aren't going to be running.
Yeah.
You can't do any of the Switch 2 editions because you'll need to download those. So it's like, what are you going to do with the thing? Nothing. So,
yeah, that is very Nintendo logic. Yeah. I could see them doing this all just to stop leaks.
Literally.
Like, something like a huge grand scheme thing. It's like, it seems like a dramatic step, but I could see Nintendo doing it. Yeah,
that's totally Nintendo's MO, though. I mean,
I guess so. Yeah, because
the big dramatic, overprotection of something is kind of what they're always doing. So it doesn't surprise me all that much.
Micah, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. And it's funny just to think there really is not a lot going on for the launch. Anyways, like for me personally, I'm not getting Mario Kart, so I'm going to get a Switch 2. I have it pre-ordered, but I'm going to get a Switch 2 and just play, I don't know, games I already own on it. And so it's like, I don't know, man, what's the rush? I'm moderately excited for it, but I'm most excited for Donkey Kong, and that's not coming out till July.
Oh, me
so too. I'm kind of like, I'll just be playing NSO games and shit I already own. So I don't know, I'm not clamoring for my Switch 2, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Gene, what do you think? Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't care really. I don't care if someone else has it early, whatever, good for you. And you can't even play it right now. So.
Okay.
It's funny. We're all just kind of in agreement. It's like, all right. And
great.
Yeah.
I think it kind of sucks for some people where it's like, you do need to update for that. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's kind of like everything now is becoming this sort of thing.
For sure.
I don't think you bring home a game console in this era and not expect some sort of update. Their controllers need updates now. Of course, the games need updates constantly. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think anyone is bringing home a brand new console and thinking, I don't need an internet connection to do like anything with this. Like, I just don't think that's the expectation anymore.
Yeah. Look, like the doomer brain in me understands. Like, what if the EMP hits everything and it just. We got nothing left, and all you got is a brick to switch to,
Yeah.
But I think
then you go outside, you grill. Mike's already prepared. That's
exactly.
What do you mean? Yeah, like that. Then you don't play video games. You go and do other things.
Yeah, you just don't play video games anymore.
I feel like if the EMP hits and all electronics get knocked out, I think the least of my concerns is going to be like, I can't play my GameCube games on NSO. Like, oh no, what am I going to do? Like,
I lost access to my Wind Waker save file.
Right.
Man, that's funny.
Which is fucked. I would still be pissed about it too.
Of course.
I would still be pissed about it. Don't get me wrong. Like I get it.
I am still hurting to this day from when I moved from my first place in LA to my second place. I had to transfer my Wii U, and it had one of those external hard drives in it. And there were literally only 3 games I cared about on my Wii U. It was Monster Hunter, it was Xenoblade, and it was Smash Brothers. And my save files in all 3 were all tied to that external hard drive. And there was a power surge the day before I moved. And literally when I moved, put everything back in, I lost my 150 plus hour save file of Xenoblade, my full high HR Monster Hunter, and my fully unlocked Smash Brothers. And I literally was like, you know what? I'm good. 3DS it is. Gave my Wii U to my cousin, sold my other games, and I was done until the Switch. I literally was like, I can't handle this.
But you were free, though. Yeah, you were free.
It was free, exactly.
You were free from the anxiety.
And you know what I could do? I could bring my 3DS over to Griffith Park. I could play Smash Brothers while I was walking my little Pomeranian. It was great. You know what? Getting the great outdoors and the handhelds. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get it though. Like, it feels weird to open, like, get, as an old man, it feels weird to get a video game console and like, oh, I can't just like turn it on and play games. I have to, connect it online. But I mean, that's what we're all going to do.
Yeah.
So, and you know, as long as it works online or offline after, you just do that quick check-in.
Yeah.
You know, that's
exactly. I bought a new barbecue thermometer last week, and it's Wi-Fi enabled. So it's like I'm setting up my new thermometer, and you got to sign into the Wi-Fi on it, right? So it's like,
that's insane.
Oh no, it's fucking awesome though, because like it's way better than the Bluetooth ones. It's great, but it is. It's like I'm signing this thing into my Wi-Fi.
There's a difference between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi barbecue thermometers, though. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I never thought I heard the word Bluetooth barbecue thermometer.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Fucking hell. All right, just a quick little cleanup right here. Games added NSO. I missed one of these last week, so we're going to throw it in here as well. Killer Instinct Gold, Mika's favorite.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I know Roger's a big fan.
I love it.
It's good to see it there.
I'm super stoked too. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
Love Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
You can play online now. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, we got both of them on there, right? The Super Nintendo one's there, right?
Super Nintendo one's on there too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. KI Gold, fun game. We got Survival Kids from Game Boy, which I have never played. I have no idea what that is. Gradius, the Interstellar Assault. Kirby
Which I
Stars.
actually just did a playthrough of. Literally just did it on the plane here an hour ago. I was telling you guys right before we started talking. Like on the plane, I wanted something.
You played that?
And
Dude,
so
cool.
I downloaded the GBA or the Game Boy NSO app update and then put my thing in airplane mode and then like went on the plane, beat the entire thing in like 3 runs. It is super fun. If you're looking for like a good version of Gradius that has sort of like that old school Game Boy charm, but still has like all the different power-ups, the options, the missiles, the lasers, it's relatively solid and you can beat it in like 30 minutes. So yeah, I'd recommend it.
Cool. All right. We also had Kirby Star Stacker and The Sword of Hope. So if you got NSO, you want to check those Game Boy games out and N64 game, please do.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some rumors about a Nintendo Direct. You know, June's coming up and they usually do something around then.
Yep.
And I'm going to read this real quick from, there's a report actually from a journalist, PH Brazil. He's leaked a bunch of Nintendo stuff in the past, who has been correct about information before. A new Nintendo Direct will drop launch week or the week after. Can you imagine if it was launch week as well? What do you think about that?
I hope it's launch week. I pray that it is not the week after because I'm going to be on a boat to Mexico literally on Wednesday. We're doing a 10-day cruise to Cabo. So I would prefer to not do a Nintendo Direct reaction while enjoying my vacation.
Yeah, you need a vacation, dude. You need a break.
Right. But no, I think the idea of them doing one makes a lot of sense. I think, you know, with Summer Game Fest coming up, third parties wanting to announce things. Also, we kind of don't know dates for Legend ZA yet. We don't know dates for Metroid yet. Donkey Kong obviously is the big push for July. My assumption is going to be like end of June. We'll probably get like a Donkey Kong Direct that focuses specifically on that game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we need to know like what the big holiday game is because this is the 40th anniversary of Mario. There will be a Mario game this year. I don't care what anyone says. There will be some type of mainline Mario, whether that is something as small as a Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder or something as big as like maybe a new Mario Maker or something. But there is going to be a Mario title, and that is for sure going to be in whatever that Direct is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 3D, though, you think? Too early?
I don't think so. Well, I think the Odyssey team is making Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they haven't said what team's doing that yet. But
based on how it plays, though, like the bananas are essentially stand-ins for moons, and the animation style is very similar.
I don't know. It just seems like, you think they'd go that long without a 3D Mario? They don't have one team doing it?
The thing is, I feel like you could release Donkey Kong. You could have, like I said, maybe some type of like filler Mario for the holiday. Like I think that the thing that a lot of people have been bringing up is for the 40th. Maybe it would probably be time to do like a remake of the original Mario Brothers, right? Like it's been the original Super Mario Brothers has not been remade since All Stars, which then again got re-released on multiple different platforms. But like we haven't had a solid remake. And I saw my buddy Games Cage Fidel bring up the idea of basically doing a Mario 1 remake within the Switch 2 edition of Mario Wonder. So essentially just having those original levels, but having those levels have wonder effects. So that you sort of get like a different twist on it. And again, it wouldn't be that much extra work. Again, they just put the levels in Mario Wonder style and come up with cool different Wonder effects. And based on that GDC thing that they did last year, where they did that talk about all the Wonder effects they're still sitting on that were like on Post-it notes somewhere at MCL, I feel like they probably want to do some type of Wonder like thing. And Wonder is also, weirdly enough, the only mainline Mario game on the Switch that does not have a Switch 2 edition or a free update already announced. So Bowser's Fury, 3D World, Mario U even, and Mario Odyssey all have free updates coming day one of Switch 2. And so Mario Wonder does seem like a weird oddity there. And that could potentially be their in for the big anniversary.
That's a really good point. I guess they could even include like lost levels or two in there easily as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that idea. Micah, what do you think we would see at a Direct if there's one coming up soon?
I'd agree with something Mario, though it's not what I would want. But, you know, I have to say, Roger, the more time we spend together, not only am I already I subscribed to your YouTube channel during this conversation because I said this man's a delight. But when you said I don't really like the Mario platformers, I was like, this guy knows me.
Speaking of
that. Okay, so let me ask you, Micah. Let me ask you. All right, in the pantheon of Nintendo platformer franchises, right? You've got your Donkey Kongs, your Kirbys, your Marios, and just to piss people off, it's not Nintendo, but they're always on Nintendo systems. Let's throw Sonic in there too.
Sure.
Where would you rank the four in terms of your interest in them?
Oh, I know what her number one is.
Oh yeah, no, Kirby is my favorite.
Nice.
And then the rest, they're the same. I really don't enjoy platformers very much, except for Kirby and the Yoshi games. I love the Yoshi games. That's what I want. If they do a Direct for the launch, I really hope they return to Yoshi, because like Crafted World and Yoshi's Woolly World are some of my all-time favorite games. And it's like, come on, man, like you got to do one. You got to do one. We're getting Kirby's Air Riders.
You might be in luck with Yoshi, though, because Yoshi, during the initial Switch 2 drop of information, one of the websites included I think it was like the key art, right, for Yoshi's Woolly World and Poochie that came out in 3DS. And this was, I think, during the digital game card thing for the first Direct of the year with Rhythm Heaven and with, what was the other thing?
Tomodachi?
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So during that the whole presentation thing, one of the other versions of Nintendo, like Nintendo of Europe or something, had this whole thing that was like, here's how you use the digital game key cards or whatever, the virtual cards. And the key art for Yoshi Poochie was there. So I would not put it past them to do some type of like Switch, like specifically Switch 1 port of Yoshi and Poochie's Woolly World. I keep messing up the name of the game, but I do think you might actually be in luck. You might get something Yoshi this year. Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. That's really all I want from them, is for them to return to Yoshi. I love those games so much. And I mean, I'm thrilled already because we're getting Kirby's Air Riders. So like, I'm stoked about that. They're adding on that bonus content to Forgotten Land. So we're already getting Kirby stuff. I really just need them to go back to my boy Yoshi. So that's all I want.
Okay. Gene, what about you? Do you have any predictions? The things you think we'd see?
No, not really. Metroid, I don't know.
Maybe the date, actually.
Yeah.
No, you're not getting that ever.
Oh, come on, Mike.
No date for Metroid?
Come on. Not coming out. Just
same
get
day
over
as
it.
Dragon Quest. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go Metroid same day. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Nintendo Directs is that I think they've proven now to be the most unpredictable showcase, right?
For sure.
Because nobody would have predicted FromSoft coming out with the Dusk Bloods.
Crazy.
No, certainly not.
Or even, even earlier in the just a year ago when they said, "Oh, here's Marvel vs. Capcom 2" for the first time on consoles.
Amazing.
Like the Directs have become now the platform for like these shocking new game like third-party announcements. Like hell, maybe they'll announce Resident Evil 9 on the Direct.
Wild.
Excuse me. Yeah. But yeah, Resident Evil 9 on a Direct or something. So
yeah.
Who knows? But on the Nintendo side, who knows too? I mean, like we're in a brand new territory of the Switch too. Like anything can happen. Splatoon 4, new Smash. Like it's.
I'll die. I'll die live on stream if they announce a new Smash. Do not put that in the ether. I will literally keel over and die live on stream.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen. I have a lot of life to live. I got videos I want to make. All
it
right,
was fun to be.
can't do it.
Roger, it was really fun to be in like the Nintendo like New York City, like seeing the first direct live, and then like Doug Bowser is just like watching me like react or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And I was like behind the Kind of Funny crew, and we were all freaking out at Dust Bloods. We're like, "What is it? What is this? I love it. I love it." So,
salivating, yeah.
I truly think, like, regardless of the controversies around like Switch pricing and everything, like that back-to-back triple announcement of the Bloodborne successor exclusive to Switch 2, the Kirby Air Ride 20+ year return into the first 3D Donkey Kong since like DK64 was just like, how are they even doing this? Like in my wildest imagination, did I not think these three games would come together in the way that they did? So yeah, I'm supremely stoked for whatever they're going to announce.
Yeah. So what if there is a Direct 2? Like I'm just ready for whatever they announce. Please. So new Mega Man, Capcom, come on.
Sick.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm thinking about it. I'm always just like, is it too early for this? What I'm thinking about, I'm like, is it too early for Animal Crossing to come out like that?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like they only do the games like once a generation. It seems like with a lot of these things. So how long are they going to wait? Like Smash is a once a generation game.
Yes.
Totally.
We're getting Mario Kart now. Finally,
this is the last Mario Kart we're going to get for the next 7 years for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
next 10 years.
There you go. There's an announcement for the Direct, or maybe they'll wait for the 40th anniversary Direct, because they always do like the Mario anniversary Directs. They've done the 35 as well with All Stars. I could see a situation in which during that they announce the DLC roadmap for Mario Kart World.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm in complete agreement with you, Gene. I feel like that's going to be the game we play for the next 7 years.
Yeah,
that they're definitely going to do something, whether it's islands or new characters or whatever. The only thing I can really think of in terms of like franchises that we have right now that I'm like, it's been a while since the last time we saw one, is Fire Emblem. I feel like Fire Emblem is the one I'm thinking where it's like, If it's either Three Houses or like the Engage team, whichever one is working on it, I feel like their Zelda thing for the year is that new Hyrule Warriors, right? Like that Age of Calamity follow-up. The Mario will probably be, like I said, like a Switch 2 Mario Wonder or like Mario Maker or something. But something else for the hardcore, even if it's not this year, if it ends up being like January, February, like they like to do with Fire Emblem, I feel like it could be the next Fire Emblem game. Yeah. And that would be sick. Like I'm dying for that. Yeah, me too. As a strategy game fan, I'm like, please.
Yeah, they put those out more than like a lot of the other franchises, it seems, for sure. So
and that whole rumbling about like the Genealogy remake just kind of never came to be. Is for years people were like, we're going to get a Genealogy remake. It's going to be like Echoes on Switch 1. And we just never ended up getting it. And now because of that last Direct with like Rhythm Heaven with Tomodachi Life, I was like, I don't think we are. Now I think it's like, I think they're on to whatever the next Fire Emblem is. And I hope we see it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about what we've been playing a little bit. Micah, let's start with you. What have you been playing?
Yeah, so I did beat Expedition 33.
Nice.
And I'll keep this totally spoiler free. I like the game a lot. This is a game where I definitely loved the gameplay, liked the story. I really just started to get, though, a little burnt out towards the end, because as much as I liked the characters, I was never super attached to them. And I did just get to a point where there was one specific like mini boss fight, and I just like could not dodge this dude's like second wave of attacks, right? And so I went and I was like, all right, I'm going to grind out some more levels. I spent, an hour doing that. I still just got demolished. And I really just sat for a couple minutes and said, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I was like, I like this game a lot, but I do not feel the motivation to spend 2 more hours grinding levels. I'm just over it. Like, I really was just like, it's time to move on. So I ended up putting the game down to easy. It was still pretty difficult. I really never got good at parrying. I did not. And that's just me. I'm not good with the quick button presses as a gamer. That's not my thing. So I was able to dodge a lot of attacks, but I really never got good at parrying. And it was just my downfall towards the end. But, I had to take the little hit to my pride, but I'm just glad to have finished the game. I enjoyed the experience a lot. I really, too, like, I'm excited to see what this team does next. Like, I really respect what they did here with the story, with the gameplay. it's an exceptional game, in my opinion, that I highly recommend. I personally, though, I struggled a little bit to connect to some of the characters, and just the motivation kind of was losing out by the end of it with how difficult the game got. Like, there's just a massive difficulty spike, in my opinion, at one point, and I really just said, like, I just don't want to do this. I just don't want to grind levels. I observed Colin, because he's also playing it, and he's doing a lot of the side stuff, and I'm just like, I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to go explore. I didn't want to go do all this shit. Like, I really was just feeling like the motivation was being sapped from me. And I just thought, like, you're either just going to not beat the game or you can put it on easy. So I put it on easy. And I'm glad to be done with it. I'm excited to move on to something else, as we've got like a weird amount of time until Switch 2. So I've got to figure out something to play. But yeah, I'm happy to be done with it. I really liked it, though. I don't want to sound negative about it. I just got to that point where I often get with RPGs, where you either are really still stoked on it 30 hours in, or you're like, just finish this already. And this was one of those just finish it already games.
Okay, good. Well, I'm happy you went through it. That's good stuff.
Yeah. I definitely too, like, I liked it a lot. I know there's been a lot of negativity and there's been a lot of glazing, and I'm on it just be like in the middle. Like, I really liked it.
You're allowed to be in the middle.
Yeah, like, you can be in the middle. Yeah,
that's completely
just that. I really liked it.
Some of the comments get mad when you don't love the game.
I know firsthand. Yes.
Yeah.
No, oh my God, yeah.
That's a culture around this game.
As a One Piece reviewer, I understand completely.
Oh yeah, Roger knows all about that. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if you either the chapter is the best thing Oda's ever written, or it's the worst thing ever, and there's no in between. And if you say otherwise, you're horrible. It's terrible.
One Piece is,
I am curious, because you were mentioning, Micah, about the difficulty spike in Act 3, obviously, that happens.
Yes.
And I completely agree, there is like a big difficulty spike. But I think hearing the thing with the side quests, like, I don't obviously play the game how you want to play it, like, totally understand, that's fine. But I do feel like this was a game that I benefited streaming, actually, because I feel like a lot of the time I have the opposite reaction. I'm like, if it's a big RPG, I don't want to stream it, because then I'm not motivated to do side quest stuff. People are going to be yelling at me for missing stuff. I'm actually glad that I did, because so many people were yelling at me being like, do this side stuff. It's important. And then those super bosses that you were talking about that you were struggling with, I just like didn't do. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'll do it later at some point years from now. But I wanted to get like the core character stories, right? And I feel like that is probably why I connected more with the finale of this game, is because like, in a lot of those side missions, without giving, too many spoilers away or like talking about it too much, there is some really like should be in the main story lore that's there in those side missions that adds so much to it. Like there's a particular thing with one of the party members that is literally a blink and you miss it thing during one portion right after Act 2, that like if you don't go to this one location in the manor, you completely miss that this is the truth behind this other character. And when that's what this character is, I can never look at the character the same way. I like love it. And there's so many great moments like that, I feel like, with Claire Obscure, that made me really appreciate the story by the end, where I felt like I did like the parrying, to be fair. So I feel like that's maybe another place we differ.
Yeah.
It's like the parrying aspect was fun, but I did not feel the need to like go through a lot of the super boss enemies. It was just kind of like, I'm going to let the story wash over me, see the side stuff, build up those relationships at the camp and like kind of be done with it there. And I finished it literally right before we left for Epic Universe. And it had me in tears by the end. So
cool.
Yeah.
Roger, let's stick with you, man. What have you been playing?
Yeah.
Aside from that. And you played Gradius.
I played Gradius on the flight. I played Gradius, the Interstellar Journey or whatever that was on Game Boy. I 100%ed Pikmin 2. I was in the mood for something. I was in the mood for something Pikmin related, knowing I was going to Nintendo World. So on the flight up, I had like, I think it was like 8 or 10 something like little gold pieces that I still needed to get in Pikmin 2 from when I played it a couple years ago. And I was like, why not? I'm in the mood for some Pikmin. Let's do it. And so I just got through the rest of the game, ended up loving it. The game's still a masterpiece. I feel like it is criminal that game is probably not going to end up being on GameCube NSO, because Bingo Battle Online would just be like the best thing ever, but I don't think we're ever going to get it. But other than Pikmin 2 and Gradius, I think my life has pretty much been Claire Obscure for the last month. and everything that's been said already. I love it. I am for sure one of those Glazers. I am full force. The drive-through at Krispy Kreme, bro. Full dozen donuts, like all the way. Like, I adore the music in particular. I think as somebody who loves RPGs, the music is just like so good. Such an eclectic mix of music too, from like the French jazz to the orchestrations, the opera. Like there's so many good things there. And yeah, I mean, it's very early, obviously, in the year still, but I think to me, this is like over even Monster Hunter. This is like my game of the year right now.
Sure.
This is pretty definitively. I think Donkey Kong has got to be real good for it to top this,
it. Yeah.
At this point. Yeah.
Cool.
Or Kirby, to be fair. Kirby Air Ride is also a treat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Gene, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's coming out Wednesday. So I have been playing Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oh, fun.
Okay, sick.
Fun.
Yeah. Review period would be out today. I do not have a review for it because I just really didn't have much time to play it. I only got the code like when I got back from Orlando, and I just don't want to get right into Elden Ring Night Rain and just start playing that. But I have played a little bit of it. It's a weird game. Did you guys play the beta?
I played the network test.
I the network test. It was the network test.
Yeah. So you probably understand why it's weird. Like it's hard for me as a Souls fan and as a FromSoft fan, FromSoft RPG fan, to play these games and being like, okay, this is not my character. I'm not tailoring this character to who I want it to be. I have to run to these bonfires and you just quick press level up, and it's like, okay, I just leveled up.
Yep.
Once I got into that mentality of, I'm just running through and I'm collecting shit. I'm getting more flask drinks. I'm increasing my souls levels up and to get more powerful. And I'm working with a team that actually works and is good. That shit is fun. That shit is like, this is really classic like Souls co-op, but just like streamlined. Like we're just going from boss to boss, bang, 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 bang. That's a lot of fun. It's also very exhausting. Not exactly my ideal like playtime for this kind of game. Also kind of highlights, and I've said this before publicly, FromSoft combat kind of sucks. Let's be real about it. It's not that good. It's not that good. It's not that deep. It's a lot of hit, dodge, roll, and hit, and find a good spot.
Yeah, you're not doing combos or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
So it's not like the most engaging combat. Like a lot of the combat is like how much you build the quality up, but like you're getting, it's a roguelite, right? So you're getting all these different weapons. It's really fun to just grab weapons and not worry about weight count for once, So there is like a lot of liberation feeling in terms of like, I got this big ass sword. I don't have to worry about how much it weighs. Let me just equip it now, and I'll use it later. That's a lot of fun. And then you also get like these right relics that have like more permanent upgrades and everything like that. So I'm actually really excited to kind of delve a little deeper and unlock more. It's definitely something that I want to play more of. I will say that it is very, very difficult to solo. I tried to do solo runs.
Yeah.
And, it is possible. I am absolutely sure that if you're a cracked Souls player, or if you have a really good run, then you can easily, not easily, but I feel like a lot of these later fights are built around having a team. A lot of like Ornstein mode / fights where it's
multiple enemies at one time.
You might want a crew of 3 to help you out with that stuff. So I'm mostly excited for just playing it once it releases and everyone else is playing it. I don't want to play with other games journalists. I don't want to like meet up with them. I don't want to like coordinate times with them. Just want to play with my friends and play with randoms and have a good chance of having good randos. In there. So. Weird game. I don't know if I can recommend it right away. Maybe just wait and see whether you think it's worth it or not for you. But it's only $40, so it's kind of that's a pretty good argument. A brand new Souls experience, and I'm also interested in the story. whether that will solve any lingering mysteries from the original Elden Ring story, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions in that game where I'm like, what are they doing here? There's a lot of that going on in that game.
Exactly. You know, who is the formless mother, you know, and what is this Night Lord that Night Rain is talking about, you know? Like,
yeah, well, I'm just like, why is this Dark Souls 3 boss in here? I'm like, what's going on?
Just throwing him in, yeah.
Exactly, the multiverse of souls, you know. I'm very excited to see that. So, you know, and I haven't even bumped into the like the old Souls bosses yet too. So like that gimmick of having, you know, like this is Soul Smash or whatever.
Everyone is here.
Yeah, Soul Smash, yeah.
So cool. So I'm really excited to play more of it. I'm glad that it's releasing this week, so I can play more of it. So I will probably just be playing more of it this weekend. So,
sick.
But yeah, that's all I have to say for that for now. And I have another weird game. Well, I'm also playing Capcom vs. The Capcom Fighting Collection 2 on the Switch.
Oh, nice! Yeah.
That is a fun package. It has Project Justice, which is the rival schools a 3D fighter, and it's basically a 3D fighter, but Marvel vs. Capcom, but with all in like Japanese high school, and like, you know, like culture, like principals, teachers, kids, like the swimming teacher.
Yeah, I liked the baseball character. That's what I used to play a lot.
Yeah, the baseball character, the tennis character, Momo, you know, all these amazing characters. So I've been kind of playing that for a while, but I've been playing this other weird game on my spare time. And I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast before, but I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs Legion.
No, you haven't talked about this. No.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs. All right.
Because if you don't know, Watch Dogs Legion is the third Watch Dogs game. It is the only game out of the series that doesn't have like a real main character. It is a game where you can be any character in the game. Any character can be the main character. You can literally recruit any NPC in the game, including like the bad guys of the company that you're fighting against, and they can be part of your #resistance. But each character has their own like unique abilities. So, you know, GTA 6 has been delayed, right? So I've been I'm kind of in the mood for like a open world, you know, car driving, you know, modern.
I'm sorry, I do not mean to laugh. It was just that line is crazy to me. Like, GTA 6 has been delayed, so I'm looking for something similar. Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs Legion.
That's great. You're gonna play. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs is great, actually.
Well, I've been playing Sleeping Dogs, but like Watch Dogs Legion is, well, here's the cool thing about Watch Dogs Legion.
Play Yakuza. Have you played Pirate in Hawaii? Pirate in Hawaii is awesome.
Yeah. I play that too. Yeah, but here's the thing about Watch Dogs Legion. It is set in like the modern times, and it is very like cyberpunky, you know. So it is like third person cyberpunk. Like everyone's wearing tech wear, and the cool thing about this, so I'm not playing it like for like, ooh, I love the stealth missions, or I love like it's a cool sim game where you can be anybody. And the cool thing though is that like you can dress anybody in anything, period. Like the old lady who's an assassin, like she can just be wearing like these cool tech wear, Nike shoes and everything like that. Her hair can be literally anything you want it to be. And the cool thing though is that like with the new Bloodline expansion, you can be Aiden Pierce, the original hero of Watch Dogs 1. You can just play the whole game as him straight up, and he has like these cool John Wick like animation, like kill moves and everything like that.
Is there a narrative tied to it?
There is a narrative tied, except that like it's not tied to any protagonist. Like the protagonist isn't going on any kind of journey. Like the resistance is fighting against like this company in London taking over, and it's very like relevant to today still. Like it came out during COVID, but like, you know, like you're walking around Watch Dogs Legion and you're like, just because I'm an immigrant doesn't mean that you can arrest me. Like that's like exactly like what's happening right now. Right? Like it's like very like, you know, it's very like Ubisoft cringe in terms of like, you know, like, oh, it's modern day, but like it works, you know?
Sure.
And like, you know, like in Watch Dogs, you're hacking, and like in London in this game, it's just filled with drones all over the sky. There's like Amazon drones and there's security drones, and like you can hack any one of them and like fly around the city as like a little drone, and like that can help you like with missions and everything like that. The game itself is like mid, because like the mission structure, because you can be anybody, like every single mission is flatly like challenge. Like from the old lady to the janitor to the hitman to the spy to the beekeeper, like every mission is designed to be.
That's awesome. Cyberpunk bees. That actually sounds awesome.
Well, that's the thing. Like that is actually the premise. Like when you get the beekeeper, he is controlling like thousands of cyberpunk robot bees, you know, and he's attacking people, you know.
That's crazy.
It's cool.
And
cool, also, there's a DLC where like, there's a literal modern day assassin from Assassin's Creed.
Of course. Yeah, of course there is.
She has a hidden blade. You help her out, and she's like, "Oh my god, the Templars are here!" Blah blah blah. You know, and then so like they wrote in the Assassin's Creed like story into Watch Dogs Legion, and then you're like, "Well, we're DedSec, so you can join us in the Resistance." And assassins are like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then so she's on your team. She can do the hidden blade and do like hidden blade assassins. So it's basically just having an assassin's Watch Dogs. But again, remember what I said. Anybody can wear anything. Every single person in my team can now wear an Assassin's Creed hood.
So you made it like what was it, Brotherhood or something? You just have like a gang of assassins.
It's just Assassin's Creed Brotherhood again. Yeah, welcome back, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Grandma.
Yeah, Assassin Grandma
with her cyberpunk bees. There
exactly. And the great thing is that like depending on like what their weapons are, like they can equip any weapons they want. So like I unlocked the hitman, the professional hitman archetype. And so now he has a silence gun. So now my Aiden Pierce just has a silence weapon now instead of like his big ass like revolver pistol that he's running on shooting loud as fuck. Like now he's actually going around going, you know, it's like so he's like John Wick in it, you know. So it's pretty cool. I have a weird love for Watch Dogs Legion. I think it's a weird game that had a weird concept, and you know, like people are talking about Mind's Eye, that the new game from Leslie Benzies, one of the original producers of Grand Theft Auto, and the previews aren't looking good. People seem to hate that game, and it's a I just really wanted like after all the travel and all the work busyness, I just want like a dumb open world game to just like.
Oh sure, I get that. Yeah.
What have you been playing on? Curiously, like Steam Deck or PS4?
Steam Deck. It runs good on Steam Deck. Yeah. Cool. But you know, I also have an Xbox Series X as well too, and you know, it's got ray tracing over there too, so it looks really cool. If you want like a third person cyberpunk where the missions aren't as good and the story like sucks, obviously I'm not selling it that great, but it's like if you just want to vibe out in like a third person cyberpunk world in London, then Watch Dogs Legion, check it out. You know, especially when it goes on sale. I'm not saying go buy a deluxe edition right now at $100. Like that's you know, keep your expectations managed. You're not gonna get some great story. It's just like is the Resistance versus some company, and you're gonna win the company, hack against it, you know, and it's cool.
Yeah, cool. This game goes on sale a lot, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yeah. It was like $6 on Steam not too long ago, I guess. So
1,000%. Yeah, totally worth it.
Play the first one. Play the first one. I love that game. I love Aiden Pierce. Like, I will never forgive them for what they did to Watch Dogs. Like, never.
Damn.
So Watch Dogs Legion, bring back Aiden Pierce is back,
and he plays Aiden Pierce in this one.
That's not him. That's just
it's a show. What do you mean? It's his grandma. Like,
and they also continue his story from like the Bloodlight expansion. Like I didn't really talk about it. Like I'm only using it to use Aiden Pierce, but like the Bloodlight expansion actually continues the story. Like remember how Aiden Pierce was psychopath in Watch Dogs 1, where it's like, why are you just killing everybody? You don't need to kill these people, right? But he's like going through these security offices and just like murdering people and shooting them in the head. And like Watch Dogs Legion's Bloodlines expansion, like actually like tries to struggle with that. It's like, oh, Aiden Pierce is in London. Oh, it's that fucking murderous psychopath that just killed a bunch of people in Chicago. Like, do we really trust him? Like, and he's like, no, like he's trying to reform. Like, I know I was going crazy. You know, like that's not me anymore, you know, like so it's really, really interesting, you know.
It'd be wild if we ever got an Uncharted game that was like that. That was literally like all the people just saying, yeah Nathan Drake just shot like 1,000 guys right now. Like, what are we going to do about this?
Yeah. He's on trial at the United Nations.
Trial of Nation Drake. There you go. Yeah.
It's an international, trial. Yeah, the trial of Nathan Drake, you know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, that's a sick subtitle for Uncharted 5 or whatever. Dude, the Trial of Nathan Drake would be sick.
Neil Druckmann, I know you're listening.
There you go.
That's right, Neil.
He's going to need another job after Last of Us Season 2, so there you go. Make Uncharted 5. That's what I try.
Man, everyone hates Season 2, man. Jesus Christ. You see the discourse around that? Oh, man.
We've been doing, the spoiler cast episodes, whatever, for each episode of Last of Us Season 2, and I just have to say I'm going to miss seeing Dustin every week, but I'm very glad that we're done with it.
Man, that's funny.
Go check out the last episode of the finale. Like, Colin is actually complaining like that Dustin and Micah aren't saying much because it's like he's like, it seems like you guys don't want to talk about this, and it's like, yeah, because there's nothing really to talk about anymore. Like the show is done, and like we just are where we are now.
Yeah. I'm just so over it. So over all the adaptations.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing. It's a bunch of weird games, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, Switch 2 almost time, so I'm going to be playing.
Can't wait.
Very soon.
I'm just genuinely so excited for GameCube. I know that's such a goofy thing, but like,
no, dude,
I have wanted to play Pokemon XD for years, and that game is just so ludicrously expensive. And so, like, the fact that you could just like stream that and play it is going to be great. And I mean, like F-Zero's there on launch day. When
that's sick,
there's Soul Calibur 2 with Link. Such a good
Soul Calibur 2 is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'm so happy for that.
Yeah, and Mario Kart, obviously, like I'm looking forward to the month.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Mario Kart, but I'm like Micah. I'm like, bring on Donkey Kong, man. That's like that's my launch game. I feel like
I'm with you.
Starts when Donkey Kong comes out.
Donkey Kong's the star for sure.
Yeah.
Just for me, real quick. I've been playing Dune: The Dark Ages. I'm more than halfway through it right now. It's good. I like it a lot. But I don't know if I love it really necessarily yet. I think it's really fun, and I like how different it is. Like, all the Doom games are super different in how you play them and like their flow and all that kind of stuff. And I do like that here. I just don't know if I like the melee focus as much. And the music is definitely noticeably worse in this game. It's a real bummer because, if you've played Eternal in 2016, the music goes hard in those games and it's such a big part of it. But I'm enjoying it more as I'm going through it. I'm more than halfway done with the game now, but it's like, I'm getting like, sometimes I get encounters and I'm not like excited about them, right? Like I used to be in some of the little games where I can't wait to fight again. Now I'm just kind of like, here we go again kind of thing. But I'm not done with it yet. I am turning around a little bit more as I keep playing it, so I'm curious how I feel about it at the end. But it's still definitely worth checking out because it's on Game Pass. So if you got PC or Xbox, easily check it out for very cheap. But it's a good game, and I'm just curious about how I'll feel about it at the end. But I don't want to be like sound like I'm too mean on it.
Oh no, you hate it. Brad hates it.
That's
right. I forgot. If you have any criticism of any game, you hate it. That's right.
Yeah.
It's dog shit. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Have you gotten to the dragon thing? Because one of the things I was listening to on the flight up to Orlando was I was listening to Kit and Krista's new episode where they were talking about like playing this game, and apparently Kit was like, the dragon part doesn't feel like a dragon; it feels more like a giant drone. And I was like, I couldn't like picture that in my head, so I was just curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah, you can control and strafe on it, so it's like it doesn't really feel like you're flying like this heavy thing. Like it just feels like you're just kind of flying around this drone.
Yeah,
it's a Watch Dogs drone,
there you go. Okay, yeah.
And then like there's a mechanic of where like they shoot out green lasers and you have to dodge them.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the game. A lot of dodge parries.
That part sucks, but and then there's like a part where like you have to chase like ships. That part's cool. So the dragon part is like a hit or miss.
So, it's hit or miss. It's kind of interesting because they dump you in areas and you like fly around it, then you'll land real quick and like take out a ship and get back on the dragon and fly around, stuff like that.
Yeah. I do think the game ages better though, because I was like kind of like you. I was like, I'm not sure about this, but like when I played it a second time, I had a lot more fun. Like once I like unlock the whole like moveset. Yeah.
I think they do a good job. They constantly kind of introduce new things for you throughout the game. Like there's like ton of weapons, there's a ton of like upgrades for your shield, like different effects and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot you're getting, and I am curious, Gina, when I'm at the end and I have the full kit, how it'll feel to me right now.
Yeah, give it another shot, because like even like Chris was like,
I'll finish it.
Even Chris was like not like mid on it, but like he's still playing it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting from a lot of people right now. Yeah. People are kind of like, it's good, but I don't love it kind of thing right now.
Yeah, but they keep playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, I might as well finish it. I mean, it's still cool.
Those games are relatively short too. I feel like comparatively, we've got all these RPGs right now.
It's not super long. All right, guys, let's move on to a report right here.
Okay.
This is from The Verge. So in an article covering Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga coming to PS5, which was recently announced, Tom Warren of The Verge said that Microsoft is working on some Xbox ports for Nintendo Switch 2, which I expect we'll hear about soon. So we'll kind of assume these are coming because Microsoft's pretty much third party now, and they've had stuff on Nintendo. Just like, what are they going to do? What do you think they're going to put on there? Because people are speculating about the first Hellblade coming out and stuff like that. I don't know if Switch 2 can run Hellblade 2. I have no idea like what Switch 2 will be capable of running in terms of those games, but what do you guys think we'll see? Roger, I'm curious what you think. Well, Xbox
Master Chief Collection. I thought we were going to see Master Chief Collection in the Switch 2 Direct, if I'm being honest. I feel like that's like a guaranteed lock at this point. I also think Sea of Thieves is pretty likely.
Sea of Thieves,
that game, obviously from Rare, where it has the history with Nintendo. Rare Replay could also be kind of cool.
That would be amazing.
I
really hope they do some old games like Rare Replay.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it'll be like kind of the newer ones, but it's like, man, if I can get Rare Replay on there.
Oh, also KI will for sure be on there. KI is like, without a shadow of a doubt, will be on there. That game, isn't that game free right now anyway? Like,
yeah, but they haven't done anything with it in so long.
I feel like KI is probably.
You feel like KI is coming? Okay, that'd be sick. I mean, I'd love that.
The cool game with the music that I'm blanking.
Why am I blanking too?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. There it is. Yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush seems like another one that's probably pretty likely.
Yeah, that seems like what do you think about Gears?
At this point, Gears would be cool. I mean, playing Gears on a Switch would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
The idea of that actually being a thing that could exist is nuts. Man, I'm here like, what Studio MDHR working on, man? That's what I want to know. I want to know like what's going on with Cuphead 2, what's going on with whatever it is they're making. Obviously, it might be a while, but I feel like I that or like a Banjo, right? You've got, don't they own Toys for Bob, or they have like,
they don't own them, they're in a partnership with them, but Toys for Bob has expressed interest specifically in Banjo.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially when the Direct came out, and there were a lot of people, like a non-zero amount of people, who saw the doofy little googly eyes on the little rocks in the Donkey Kong thing, and were like, there's no way this is Banjo. I mean, like, we just got Bloodborne 2, so who knows at this point. But like, I think a Banjo successor type game could be really cool, and like that's the market to do it on if you're going to do it to Nintendo. But yeah, I think it'll probably be majority like existing games. I think you're right. Gears makes a lot of sense. Master Chief is the one probably I'd be the most interested in. Yeah. So that's probably why I'm bringing it up. And then the flight simulator games will for sure be in there too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Micah, what do you think we'll see?
I mean, I think you guys covered every Xbox game that exists because there's just not much. There really just isn't much. I say that as a big fan. I think Sea of Thieves makes a lot of sense given the like real push Nintendo's doing for their new online features, you know? So that would stand out to me just given the previous Direct and how much emphasis they're putting on their little camera and the chat and all these things. I think Sea of Thieves is perfect for that if it will run well. So I would say that'd be like my number one pick, not for me to play. All right, not into it, but for what I think makes sense. I think Roger's right on the money with that one because of the push Nintendo's doing for their chat features and everything.
Yeah, interesting. Gene, what do you think? What do you think we'll see from Xbox on Switch 2?
You guys know me. I'm not the biggest Hellblade fan, so like whatever.
I'm in good company. This is. Yeah, normally I am the odd one out.
I wasn't too big on Hellblade 2,
I'm not
especially.
a big Hellblade person.
Yeah. Oh, it's like my least favorite AAA game of the most recent years for sure.
What do you think about Call of Duty? You think it's too early for that?
That makes a lot of sense. Wasn't the whole thing in the
there was like a 10-year agreement with
there has to be like a Switch version or something. That does seem like something they would do. Yeah. I completely forgot they own Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's an old one, that'd be nice, you know.
Yeah.
Even if it was like Modern Warfare's, like the original,
like the remakes or something, or the old ones. You mean?
Even the 2019 Modern Warfare. Why not? You know. I'd be stoked for that. Starfield, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick, or maybe Oblivion.
Yeah. Forza Horizon probably sounds like a good pick to imagine game chat with Forza Horizon. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think Indiana Jones will be on there.
No, God, no. Imagine how he'd look. Potato Jones
God,
is what they call him.
Yeah,
He'd look horrible.
Oh, no.
You would try to crack the whip, and it would do it like 3 business days later.
No. Indiana Jones is now verified on Steam Deck. It runs on the Steam Deck.
Is it really?
Yeah. And it runs pretty good. So,
maybe.
So they've been able to optimize it and shrink it down for handhelds. So. If it runs on Steam Deck, then it'll look even better on the Switch too.
And actually, that's been my argument with this whole Rebirth thing too. Is like, obviously we know that FF7 Remake is coming, and the wording specifically in all the videos that Square's doing with Nintendo is Remake series.
Yeah.
So like, obviously we're getting Rebirth at some point, and yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying the same thing, being like, "There's no way the Switch 2 would melt if it has Rebirth," but no, it is on Steam Deck. You can play on Steam Deck.
It's on
and
Steam
I do
Deck.
feel like
good.
Looking at the future of that and like their relationship with Nintendo now and Cloud and Sephiroth and Smash Brothers, I do feel like they want to get the third game on as many platforms as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for sure. And so to me, it's like a no-brainer that the third of that trilogy will eventually be on Switch 2, too.
Yeah. That does probably signal to me that Remake 3 is probably not going to be like advanced, like so much more advanced than Rebirth, you know? But like, how much more bigger than you can get
right, Rebirth was gorgeous.
Though. Rebirth was honestly like already massive already, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm like kind of wondering how they're going to do is the airship and how they handle all that kind of stuff, how free it'll be flying it or whatever. So other than that,
you know, something that handled flying on the overworld quite well recently was actually Clair Obscur. I loved that effect that they use where it kind of looks like toys. We were flying on the back of SK and like you've got the cool horizon with the music playing in the background. It felt very like classic FF9, FF6 to me. So
Dude, it reminded me of like Flammy in Secret of Mana, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is just Flammy. We're just riding on our Flammy. It's awesome. I love this.
Only he's filled with wine, which is just awesome. Get me an SK.
But I'm sure we'll find out about these Xbox ports very soon, like Tom was saying, a week or two probably. So
I'm surprised they didn't announce it on the day of the actual like Switch 2 announcement.
Same.
Like, Xbox was in New York on that day too, so I was totally expecting something.
Maybe they were like, maybe it was Nintendo's decision, just be like, not yet.
Yeah,
we'll wait.
That could be. I mean, that is legitimately a pretty big get if you have like a Microsoft section of your Nintendo Direct where you're like, hey, by the way, boom, Halo, Gears, Forza, like that. That is one of those things where I almost feel like it would have overpowered some of the other third-party games that were there during the Switch 2.
Sure, and if Xbox has their own Direct thing coming up next week or the week after that as well, and Jeff Keighley's birthday party celebration there, he'll probably talk about it. So
that's right.
We'll see. Okay. Just quickly, someone found on the Nintendo site that GameChat requires a phone number linked to your Nintendo account, which seems strange to me. I don't really know why, but that is what's apparently coming on here in this Reddit thread someone found on the Nintendo's website. It says mobile phone number registration required to use GameChat. It's like, why? I wonder why. I mean, it's like not a big deal to me, but I'm just like, why? I don't understand why.
Track people being angry on GameChat.
Like, dude, Nintendo cops watching you.
They call you up. It's like, were you just racing with this 10-year-old and screaming at him? What are you doing? Get a life.
Breaking your console,
right. They break your console because you're screaming at a 12-year-old in Mario Kart. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I could have used that when I've told the story before of like one of my first online experiences ever going on the mic was for Red Dead Online. And these dudes were really mean to me and they were calling me fat and all this stuff. I was just like, I could have been like, Microsoft ban these men.
That's right. Bill Gates, call him up. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy, dude. Micah, what do you think though about linking your phone? Big deal to you or not really at all?
I'm not going to use this feature, so to me, it's not a big deal.
There's a button on the controller, Micah. You have to use it.
Yeah, the chat button. It's I can talk to.
You got to be there with Gus Bloods with all of us, Micah. You got to be in the fray with us.
No. That's right.
You have played Elden Ring by then because you're going to play on Switch 2. I'm not going to let you forget that.
I'm going to play whenever it comes out. Yeah, I'm going to play it. Actually, my copy of Breath of the Wild, I haven't gotten it yet because I ordered it from PlayAsia, but I pre-ordered something that's not coming out till December. So I don't think I'm going to get it anytime soon.
Man.
Oh, my God.
No, this is not a big deal to me. I don't know. This is one of those you follow the rules and you won't have any problems.
Yeah.
I feel.
Sounds like the mob right there.
Really.
I mean, Mario and Luigi. It's like,
yeah, that's true.
Right there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is anti-Italian discrimination.
My last name's Di Luigi. All right, I'm not getting in any trouble. All right, I'm literally Registro Antonio Di Luigi. You cannot get more Italian than that.
Yeah.
This is incredible because I was just at the deli for like a half hour before we started, and like whenever I see like the gabagool, and I wonder, like we're in the South, and I wonder like if the small subset of Italians order it like that, or if they actually say it correctly.
Of course, I mean, if I order gabagool, you gotta order it gabagool. Of course, I mean that's
like,
up.
What?
Yeah,
of course, yeah,
full
Tony Soprano style. Of course,
absolutely. Gene, any thoughts about phone? No big deal. Whatever. Don't care.
Whatever. I mean, Facebook has, my dick pics. So, like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh my goodness.
From years ago.
Well, yeah, you can.
That's funny.
Probably find those if you're curious. All right, just a quick Pokemon sales update, series update. The series has sold over 489 million units of Pokemon software.
Man.
Not bad, Pokemon. Pretty insane. And it's not going to stop anytime. Pokemon will never... I feel like Pokemon will just exist forever. It will never stop.
Wasn't it? I just saw an update that the summer of Pokemon Go was 9 years ago. And it's like, oh my
God.
Man.
I'm thinking it's like, that's 3 jobs ago. I'm thinking where I was at that point, where I lived. I'm like, holy shit, 9 years?
That's insane.
Wow. That was when Hillary Clinton was running for president. That's
dude. I was
in my 20s.
Man. 9 years ago. That was a whole other world.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you're right. I mean, it's not stopping anytime soon. I feel like you've got Legends Arceus coming. I mean, not Legends. I keep calling it that. Legends ZA. You've got Legends ZA coming. Next year is a huge anniversary year for Pokemon. Plus, they're going to have most likely Gen 10 next holiday season. Right? You've got the TCG is still going absurdly strong, right? With like the new rarity they just introduced with Black and White. You've got TCG Pocket making like ridiculous amounts of money. So Pokemon TV shows and movies. It's like Pokemon Concierge on Netflix. There's a new season of that. So the Pokemania is going to continue until long after we are all dead.
Yes, it will never end. People love those little Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, just a quick little thing right here. Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, is doing very well. This is a level 5 game, and it's getting free DLC to celebrate. So that's good because a lot of people were worried about level 5 because they've, haven't been having the hits that they probably were hoping to have after a long time. Like I think back to level 5 like on PS2, and I love Dragon Quest 8 so much. So I have a soft spot for these guys, but I have to admit I haven't played one of their games in a long time. But it is nice to see Fantasy Life doing very well, and I hear people enjoying it. Even in our Discord, people are having fun playing it. I forgot, Micah, were you interested in this or no?
I wasn't really, just because as much as I love Stardew Valley type stuff, Story of Seasons, I wasn't really into like the mixing of like genres here. And the biggest thing for me actually is the like having to map the terrain. What I hated in the new Animal Crossing was like the terraforming. Like, I hate it.
I love that.
I do too.
No, I left my island the way it was, like, and I just added, but it's like I decorate my house. That's all I want to do. It's like I don't want to build shit. I don't want to do any of this, right? It's I just didn't want to. So seeing that that's kind of a large aspect of this, like creating the island and terraforming it makes me a little more wary. It'd be something I would maybe check out on sale.
Okay.
But I'm not into it enough to pay full price for it.
Yeah. What about you, Roger? You have any interest in this?
I mean, people have told me that this is something that I would love. I mean, I love level 5 because I'm a huge Professor Layton fanboy. I'm just waiting for that new Layton that like we already know is coming to Switch 2 now. Like, I am hoping and praying that thing is good. The Lady Layton I thought was a cute concept, like with his daughter, but then that game actually did not end up being all that great. And I even thought like the 3DS trilogy didn't really live up to like the original trilogy on DS. So I'm hoping they can kind of recapture the magic. From everybody that I've heard, this Fantasy Life is like really good. So if they're kind of going back to basics with this one, I am hoping that's going to be the case with Layton. So we'll see. But yeah,
okay.
I'm interested. If like it goes on sale or something on Steam, or I know they're doing like a Switch 2 edition, I believe, for this one as well. Or if that's on cart, like I might check it out. But yeah, right now my sole focus for level 5 is on Professor Layton.
Yeah. Gene, I think you were kind of interested in this before. You liked the art style, you said.
I'm still kind of interested. But
okay.
There's just no time right now.
Just no time. Yeah.
I'll,
for sure.
I'll check it out, whatever it is. But the fact that it sold a bunch, like reminded me, oh, I should check this out soon.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm very happy to see it's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience.
Okay.
This first one's from Christian. Hey, Punching Up crew. I hope all is well. With the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 just over a week away, what are you planning to do with your old Switch model? Will it be a backup Switch given away to a family member, or will it be put in storage along with the 3DS and Wii? Cheers.
I didn't even consider this, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I plan to just still keep it out and still have it handy. It's kind of like the first home console that's a handheld, so I can just have it around as opposed to like Wii U. I have to like box it away.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, whereas the Switch 1, it's like, I can just put it in my case and put it in my drawers, and if there's just a game there that I just want to play it there instead, I'll just keep it around. The Switch is my favorite console of all time, so I definitely plan to keep it around for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. Micah, what are you doing? You're keeping yours because you're playing stuff on yours, right? Mm-hmm. You're playing Dragon Quest on it.
There you go.
I guess you play on Switch too.
Well, I got the Switch Lite.
You love the Lite.
And I primarily use that. So I might trade in my original Switch. It's like there's the nostalgia because I got it. It's a little scratch. GameStop will still take it. They will buy it. But I might trade it in. It's a little nostalgic though, because it is like my day one Switch. Yeah. But I'm not going to be using it anymore. Like I fully switched over to the Lite pretty much. So I feel like that's enough to just keep the Lite and then have the Switch 2. I don't really need the other Switch. I could though put the docked Switch 2 up for my upstairs TV. I could do that. But I don't know. Part of me says to trade it in, and then half of me is like, I don't really want to fiddle with it and deal with all that. So, because the trade-in process kind of sucks still.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Roger, what are you going to do with yours? You going to keep it around?
Yeah, again, I didn't even really consider this. I mean, I'm definitely not going to get rid of it. Like, I have some cool special edition Switches. I got like the Animal Crossing one. I've got the Smash Brothers one. I feel like we have a lot of TVs in our house, so I feel like I have that really cool custom dock over there with the Piranha plant.
Oh yeah, Piranha plant. Yeah, that's cool.
Which is cool. So I probably will just keep one of the Switches just permanently connected to one of the docks. So like if I want to play, NSO games or something, or chip away at my backlog because I still got tons of regular Switch games to play, I'll probably keep that hooked up. But I think the main dock on the TV, and certainly the one for my stream setup, is going to be Switch 2 moving forward. Have they said if the Switch 2 dock can work with Switch 1?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because I feel like if they can, then I probably still will actually use my Switch occasionally. If like I don't feel like re-downloading something, and it's a classic game that I want to stream and I don't want to take up like space on the Switch 2. Yeah, I'll probably just keep it on the original Switch and then just put it in the same dock if that's the case. But I have to unplug the whole thing. That's a different story. Then, like I said, I'll probably just keep one on this dock and then the one that's hooked up on our main TV because it's a cool Smash one. It's got like all the characters on it.
Oh yeah.
Like it makes for a nice display piece when people come over. So yeah,
absolutely. I have the Zelda OLED one, so I'm definitely going to keep that because I really like it a lot. So I don't know. I don't really sell a lot of my game things anymore. But I don't know. I'll see. Why not keep it around for a little while?
Definitely not Nintendo. I feel like anything.
Nintendo,
last time I sold a Nintendo system was probably the Wii U. I think that's like. Yeah. And again, it wasn't even like selling it. It was like giving it to my little cousin because I was upset that I lost my save data in Xenoblade. But it's like I think pretty much every Nintendo system dating back to like my original N64 and my Game Boy I have. So. Yeah, I'm not planning to get rid of them anytime soon.
Yeah, and there's always still demand for Nintendo stuff, so it's like,
and it makes cool displays. I mean, we make videos online. It's like it looks cool to have specialty little systems behind you.
Okay, this is from Cal Vasco. Hey crew, with Bravely Default coming to Switch 2, are there any other 3DS games you would like to see brought to the Switch 2? Fire Emblem Fates, to see Camila in HD. Also glad Roger is spreading the city trial gospel.
Yes.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
What do you mean you don't know? You're hosting a Nintendo podcast. You don't know what the city trial gospel is? I am taking over the show now. You are now fired. You're done. Okay. It's over. This is not the case.
Take my job. Yeah.
City Trial, for those of you who don't know, is a mode in the original Kirby Air Ride for GameCube.
Oh, I don't have barely any experience with this game. I missed the mode on this game.
Let me tell you, this mode is the reason why you should be hype for Kirby Air Riders. Essentially, it was Battle Royale long before Battle Royale, where you are on 4 little warp stars. You get dropped into this big city environment filled with Easter eggs and collectibles. And you basically have 5 minutes to collect as much as you can, different little power-ups that boost the speed of your car, the power of your car, the acceleration, whatever. And you can run into everybody else and destroy their carts, and they have to hop on other carts. Boss battles descend from the sky. You fight Dynablade and meteors drop from the sky. I mean, it's a really awesome mode with random events that happen. I honestly have probably played more City Trial than I did Melee on the original GameCube, which is saying something as a Smash Brothers person. I love City Trial. I feel like if City Trial is not in Air Riders, I think they should not be able to call it Air Riders. It is not a proper success of a Kirby Air Ride. It has to include City Trial. Yeah. And I can't wait. That mode is going to be awesome online, especially if you have the original game obviously was GameCube. So it was local. You can only play with 4 people. Online 8-player City Trial, multiple maps for City Trial, bosses. There's so many different possibilities they can do with that. So I cannot wait.
I'm looking at this. It looks pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Music is also 10 out of 10. Lots of iconic Kirby tracks that you've heard in things like Smash Brothers, things that you've heard remixed time and time again. A lot of those songs, fully orchestrated, mind you, half of them, come from Air Ride, which is really cool. So yeah, for a lot of people who haven't played it, I think they are in for a treat when this game and it's directed by Sakurai again.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
Is of course it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be great.
Okay. Micah, what do you want to see? When you want the Yoshi game?
Oh yeah, I mean, bring those forward. My biggest ask though is more of the Fire Emblem titles. You guys know, it was back in March that I bought Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, which was the DS game. But it's Fire Emblem Echoes is another one. Shadow Dragon I haven't played yet, but Echoes, I love that game.
Oh yeah,
that was a remake already, but it's I would just love to see them bring more of these forward. And they are adding. Did they already add, I think, to Nintendo Switch Online, another of the Game Boy Fire Emblem games,
recently,
which I'm excited about because I played the first one that they put in there. And so, I mean, just more Fire Emblem because I'm just going to keep playing all of them. But that would be my big ask is, between DS and 3DS, bringing a couple of those forward.
That'd be awesome. Awakening in HD would just be great. Or Fates in HD.
Yeah, Awakening would be
awesome.
fantastic. Yeah. Fates I bought for 3DS very recently because it's actually pretty cheap on Amazon for a new copy. So I haven't gotten to it yet. But I would not be upset if they brought some of these games forward. I would just play them on Switch instead and just still have them in the collection for 3DS.
For sure.
Gene, what about you? Anything you can think of?
Kid Icarus, that's it.
Kid Icarus, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, how do we not bring that up?
Yeah,
of course.
That's with the mouse controls. This is the only way to modernize that game.
Mm-hmm.
Switch too.
Great pick.
Also has awesome multiplayer. Kid Icarus Uprising. A lot of people did not play the multiplayer in that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I did not play it, but it looked cool. But yeah.
For me, with Bravely Default coming out, I'd like to see them do second layer eventually. Get that on there because that's the only one I haven't finished yet. Obviously, the Zelda games would be awesome to have on there. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Link Between Worlds would be great. This will never happen, but the Pokemon games would be also nice to see on there.
Yeah, sure. Dating back to the first year of the Switch, right, with Pokemon Stars being the rumor, with Sun and Moon, and that Stars was going to be, Switch 1 launch year. Never ended up happening.
Never happened. Nope.
Be cool.
All right. This is from Abraham Phoenix. Greetings, Frickbisters. Okay. Last time Nintendo released a console, we saw the rise of live service. And we continue to see companies chase the dragon despite their failures. Do you think Nintendo has quietly been taking notes all this time and will start making a push towards live service this generation? There is that Pokemon MOBA game, so who knows how much revenue that game makes and whether or not the company sees value in taking a gamble in this field of online games. Anyways, I'll park my car in the garage and sleep while the engine runs and listen. This is our audience, Roger.
What the heck?
This is our audience, yeah.
I'm trying to think, like...
Battle Royale. Or, yeah, what are they chasing? Do you think they're chasing that trend of Battle Royale? Nintendo.
No, I mean, you could play Fortnite. Yeah, you could play Fortnite on Switch, too. I feel like they probably want to just continue that relationship. I don't see a world in which they would make, like, a live service. I mean, I kind of feel like Animal Crossing should be that.
It should be
in perpetuity forever. I would want like Animal Crossing to be the game that they just keep adding furniture and keep adding new villagers and keep adding things to forever. Mm-hmm. I know some people would be upset about that. They want their designated Animal Crossing. But I feel like during those early months of COVID, I feel like there were a lot of people who just like cheated their way through New Horizons and like time travel and got everything.
I remember that.
And then people were like, oh, I did everything that you can do in the game. I'm like, you're playing it wrong. That's why you did it. You're literally playing the game how you're not supposed to play it. And so I feel like if there was some type of tie with the live service, which maybe is like a little too controlling Nintendo, but for me, I personally wouldn't care, where they're like, you cannot try and travel at all. It's all tied to like the actual in-day thing.
Yeah.
And every day is different for every single person when you wake up. You cannot get everything immediately. You actually have to play it, ongoing. I think that would be awesome. I mean, I would totally be down for that. And then I kind of feel the same way about Smash, to be honest, at this point now too. I feel like a reboot for Smash would be incredible, but you now have Sora and Sephiroth and Steve. Like, and Banjo? Like, you have all of these amazing characters that are going to be a licensing nightmare to bring back if you're going to try to do another new one. It's like, if you build upon that and just have Smash in perpetuity, where it's like, a game they just keep adding characters to forever as a platform, I think would be great. But yeah, I don't think that's the direction they're going in, though. No, so we'll see.
I don't think so yet. I think Splatoon could kind of work as well with that, but
Sure.
They do campaigns, so maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. You got any ideas, Gene or Micah? Anything?
Not really. Pretty much what Roger said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that there are third-party titles like Fortnite that can do well on Switch, and they can be totally content with that. I mean, didn't they even like not want Mario in it? Because they were like, well, he has to be on Nintendo only. You can't play Mario in the other consoles.
Right.
And so it's like they are putting their foot down already with like what they're willing to do. So I think they're content to have third-party games be those services and get their kickback, however that all works. And for their actual titles, though, it's like I think they do want to sell you a new copy of Splatoon. I think while I absolutely agree with Roger that Animal Crossing makes sense. Did you guys get the email about Pocket Camp? I got an email a couple days ago that's like your data is going to be erased on June 1st, so you need to buy it,
the download
and transfer
version.
your data. Yeah. And I'm not going to. I had a lot of fun with Pocket Camp, but I'm done with it. But Animal Crossing would make sense. I still think that they want to just sell you a new copy every couple of years, like 5 years. I don't mean to make them sound like Call of Duty, but like I think they'd rather sell you a new copy every 5 years than have an ongoing service. Especially because walking that back, if they weren't pleased with it, would just be a disaster. So I think that's something that they might do with like third-party support, but not necessarily their own games.
I do think it's so weird, though, that Animal Crossing specifically, like they could quite literally, like back in the day with Oblivion and the DLC with like the horse armor, right? That was a whole meme. They could literally sell you a chair for like actual money, and people would damn well buy it, like guaranteed.
Oh, and dude, the cards, the Animal Crossing. I got the Hello Kitty card pack.
For the
I actually never even opened it. I just wanted it as a collector's item.
Like they could easily do that, and I feel like there would be a section of the audience that would be really upset with the idea that like they can't own everything unless they buy everything. But I also feel like that's not Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is about like living your life in this happy little bit. Like you don't need every little furniture item for every little thing. It's you learn how to craft certain items, be content doing your little daily fishing and your like hang out with your friends. Like that's kind of the beauty of it. Like the slow life vibe of Animal Crossing is I think why it was so refreshing for so many people, getting that like that touch of human experience during those first couple months of lockdown. It was like I want more of that, man. I want give me that as a live service. And if you need to do like a $10 DLC pack for like the Monado in your house, fine, like whatever. Like if you people are gonna want it, Gene and I will buy it, and some other people won't. Like it is what it is. You know?
No, they'll make it a gotcha for stuff like that.
There you go.
You got to do gotcha pulls now.
Well, they do have the core crystals in Xenoblade 2 where you have the gotchas. They just sell you core crystals as an item in Animal Crossing, and you pull different waifus for the game.
Oh, God, man. Yeah. Gotcha for villagers and stuff. Yeah, oh my God.
I got 6 Pietros, damn it. Like.
Exactly.
That'd be insane.
Oh, man.
Okay. This is from Raku. Hey punchers, cool to see Roger here. I've been a big fan since he was covering the Dressrosa arc in One Piece.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah. And also seeing his reactions to hype Smash reveals during the Wii U era. Anyway, my question is, I know that everyone here is getting a Switch 2 at launch, but if it wasn't the case, what potential game would be a Switch 2 system seller for you? I'd also like to hear your history of past console system sellers too, if you remember any, or did you always buy the new consoles anyway? I believe Gene traditionally doesn't purchase consoles at launch. For me personally, in the past, it was Bloodborne for PS4. For the Switch, it was Breath of the Wild. For the Switch 2, it will have to be the inevitable next Xeno game. Could be Blade, could be something else. Joy-Con boys forever.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Man, I gotta think. I think in terms of system sellers, my first system I ever owned as an 8-year-old was N64. And the reason why I wanted it so badly was because of the Toys R Us kiosk with Banjo-Kazooie. So I felt like I had to include that.
Toys R Us kiosks are special.
GameCube was Melee for sure. That was the thing I wanted more than anything. Game Boy Advance, weirdly enough, was Rayman Advance. I remember being blown away by how cool Rayman Advance looked, and being able to run that on a handheld was really sick. I couldn't tell you with DS and 3DS. I don't remember. Wii obviously was Twilight Princess, and Switch was obviously Breath of the Wild. I mean, honestly, with Switch 2, there's 3 of them that I'm thinking of right now. But Kirby Air Ride, that just shocked me to no end. So that's the thing that's going to get me to get the system. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Micah?
Yeah, with the original Switch, for example, I was just so excited to be able to get the console at launch that it's that ARMS looks cool, sure, but I was just hyped to get one. With Switch 2, absolutely, the Donkey Kong game. I'm not even a Donkey Kong fan, really, but I'm I gotta play this. I absolutely must play this. So, I'd be buying one anyways, or else I don't think Brad would let me work here anymore. But I do just that's the one really that's standing out for me is I'm super excited. It comes out on my birthday, okay? This is gonna be this is gonna be monumental. It expires on the same day I do, is what I say whenever something's labeled with my birthday. We got some cereal in the pantry that's labeled July 17th, and I'm look, it expires the same day I do.
Awesome.
Mom hates that joke. But yeah, for a long time I got consoles very late. The 3DS, I bought mine refurbished. I was really late to the party. So I do just, for some of this, it's less about the system sellers and more just wanting to be part of the moment. And it's kind of the same with Xbox. I'm going to keep buying Xboxes even if I'm a little disappointed. But it's just because it's well, when something cool comes out, I want to be there. Right. All right. So that's kind of how I operate with these. PlayStation's really the one where I'm you got to sell me on it. What do you got? And previously it had been the collector edition consoles, the Batman Arkham console or the Spider-Man console. Those were the ones I was hell yeah, I need that. But it's more about the aesthetic than even the games that were on it. So, but yeah, for Switch 2, Donkey Kong, Kirby's Air Ride, I never got to play. So that's another one I'm so excited
for you. I really feel people, going back to the City Trial thing, don't understand how cool that mode is.
Yeah,
who never got the chance to play it, that are going to become obsessed with it. A whole new generation is going to fall in love with Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
Yeah.
Gene, you've talked about how in the past you don't really get consoles at launch, but what has been a game that would take you to get a Switch 2 if you weren't getting one already? And have you bought any consoles in the past because of one game?
I have definitely talked about I don't buy consoles at launch. Again, the only console I bought at launch is the Wii and the PlayStation 1, honestly, because I was just really excited for the next Final Fantasy, whenever that was coming out. And I knew that it was going to be on PlayStation. There's a new console, and I was okay, I'm in 3D gaming, PS2, I just bought automatically because it was just the next PlayStation. But it wasn't until PS3. Well, I bought the GameCube for Metroid Prime. Nice. When Metroid Prime came out, that's when I got a GameCube. For the original Xbox, it was definitely the first Halo. Heard Halo was this revolutionary game, and it sure was. For PS3, I bought it for MGS4. PS4, I bought it for Bloodborne. I didn't get a PS4 until Bloodborne was about to come out. But I really got it when Phantom Pain dropped, actually.
That was like what? That was pretty late, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pretty late in 2015. 2015.
Oh, okay.
So I got a PS4 a whole 2 years later.
Oh, okay.
So totally happy with a PS3 and Xbox 360 the whole time. Still would be, to be quite honest. And what else? I got an Xbox One for Red Dead Redemption 2 because it was the only version that was 4K on the Xbox One X.
Oh, right. One X.
The PS4 version and the PS5 version is not even a 4K. You just got a stinky little PS4 version on the PS5. I think that's about it, really. Got the Switch for Breath of the Wild. The Wii U for Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
needed to get Bayonetta 2. So I definitely got a Wii U just for Bayonetta 2. I think that's about it, really. Xbox One and PS5 and Xbox Series I just got because they sent it to me and I became a games journalist recently.
Yeah.
So
nice.
That's about it.
Plus
and
one, by the way, for PS3. When you said PS3 MGS4, I'm like literally exactly the same situation.
That was a moment. I remember a lot of people
and I was like,
in.
I'm not going to do it. I'm content with my 360 and my Wii. And then the second that dropped, I was like, oh my God, I need it.
Yep. Needed the newest Kojima joint.
Eva in HD, man.
That was still PS3 exclusive, which is crazy.
Yeah. And one day. I feel like we're going to have to get another MGS collection volume at some point.
Yeah, volume 2 for sure.
Has to.
I never got a Nintendo DS, but I did get a 3DS for Link Between Worlds.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So I heard that was a legit good Zelda game, and I loved the premise, and I was like, I gotta play it. Gotta play it.
Good call.
I got that super late too in 2015 too. Very late.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I remember the PlayStation I bought because Final Fantasy VII came out. Yep. So I was like, okay, here we go. Like I bought it when it came out, like right when it came out. I didn't get it earlier like you did.
Yeah. Even though that would have been sick. Early because I played, all I had was fucking Jumping Flash and Battle Arena. I actually got it at launch.
Yeah.
Those are the only games I could play, you know?
Yeah. N64 is weird because there was only 2 games, but it's like Mario 64 is the game to get. So I was like, I gotta get that game. That game was insane at the time. GameCube, I just got, like, as I got older, I could start buying consoles just because you had money now. Like, I remember I bought GameCube and I got Luigi's Mansion, which is great, but I just beat it really fast. And I was like, man, I should have got Rogue Squadron. It's like, fuck. I already beat that shit. Yeah.
Rogue Squadron was awesome.
Yeah, Rogue Leader. Yeah. I still feel like Rogue Leader, I know you guys said you like rambling, so I just wanted to go on a quick tangent.
Go for it.
Rogue Leader specifically is the last moment I felt in terms of a console generation leap where I was actually genuinely blown away.
Yeah, that was an insane looking
game. From
game.
N64 to GameCube and seeing Rogue Leader, I had never seen it. The fact that it looked like the films made me immediately sold on a GameCube. Like I said, my system seller was Melee, but thinking back on it, like again, with those Best Buy demo kiosks, it's like seeing it running in real time. You're going through the Death Star, fighting all the things, the explosions are going all over the place. I don't think a console generational leap has hit me the same way since, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Like the 32-bit and 64-bit were the biggest leap for me. I guess just going from 2D to 3D. Like I've said, when I saw Mario 64 for the first time, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy.
I think the last big generational leap for me was Gears of War 1.
That was a big leap. Yeah,
Gears 1 was a huge moment. Yeah,
crazy
for sure.
Game.
Yeah, that game was gorgeous.
I got an Xbox 360 for Gears of War.
There you go.
It's a good one. Yeah,
there's your answer. Yeah,
I completely forgot about 360, but I got it for Gears of War. Oblivion was already out. So before, Oblivion and Gears of War were the only 2 games I had for the 360. But that's all you needed, you know. That's so much video game right there.
That's a lot of gaming.
You know, and Gears. So and Gears was like, as soon as I saw Gears and Unreal 3, I was like, oh man,
that was insane.
I need that next gen tech right now, you know.
Yeah, wild times. Yeah, I got my 360 for Tales of Vesperia. I was like, well,
holy shit,
Tales games on Xbox only. I guess I'm buying this. Yeah, one of those 3 Japanese exclusives, the ones the appeal to the Japan market is what got me to get an Xbox. I was like, all right, well, guess I'm buying this now.
Yeah, they tried.
The Rising that was close though.
My unfortunate 360 system seller was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh no!
Unfortunately, that was the thing that got me. I know.
I talk shit on that game all the time. People get mad at me.
I still feel like it's a little bit of a bad rep. I do, but I in the music is still good in it. But yeah,
I played it a couple of years ago, Roger. It's still really bad.
We could have gotten 3. We could have gotten an actual platformer, and it's like
we could have got it, but now we got. They're dicking us around, making us race Jinjos and collecting a giant ball and driving around. Good shit, Rare. Yeah. All right. This is from Sean Mason. Hey, Puncher Uppers. This weekend, my sister and I were geeking out over the upcoming Switch 2. We're both beyond excited for it. Naturally, the conversation turned to when we might finally see the next 3D Mario. That led to a friendly bet. Whoever guesses wrong buys the game for the winner. I'm betting we'll get a reveal by the end of 2025. My money's on October. She's holding a firm on not before 2026. So now I need to know, or need your take. Do you think we'll see a new 3D Mario announcement anytime soon? Best, Sean M. We kind of talked about this earlier, but most people seemed like, no, not this year.
I don't think it's this year.
I don't think it's this year either. I think maybe the announcement of one. Like I could see them saying, during like the 40th, I could see like during the 40th Mario thing being like, we have Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition. We've got maybe the new Mario Maker that has mouse controls. You know, we've got maybe like a re-release, reprint or whatever of like Mario All-Stars, the 3D All-Stars they did with with like Galaxy. Or maybe they're like, and this Galaxy Switch 2 edition is Galaxy 2. There you go. Right. Something like that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be huge.
That'd be huge.
Yeah. But I feel like beyond them saying, also, the 3D Mario team is working on a new title. Please look forward to more information. I don't see like gameplay reveal of 3D Mario.
They might Tears of the Kingdom it, because Tears of the Kingdom was such a soft announcement.
Yes,
we got this kind of cooking up a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like
at some point in the future. Yeah.
I feel like they won't shadow drop Mario like an announcement. Like no. Nintendo, like this is motherfucking Mario. Like they need to build it up. You know.
Yeah.
Return of the King, as the meme goes.
That's right.
Yeah. And capitalizing on the next movie too, which is April of next
big
year.
Synergy right
next year. Yeah.
The kids, you got to get the kids all over it, Brad. I'm not going to see that though. I need you to know that up front. All right, we're not.
I'm not. You're not going to see the second Mario movie. Why? It's Mario World. It's going to have Yoshi in it.
It's just Mika. You can't win sometimes.
You don't want the Koopalings.
All right, like.
I will say, I watched the movie after being in a Super Nintendo World, and I was like, oh man, like I'm such a Nintendo vibe. I just met Miyamoto, just came back from Super Nintendo World. I should watch that movie again. And I watched it, and I'm like, man, it is actually really weird, this movie.
Yeah, it's a weird-ass movie.
It's weird.
Rogan is in it. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'd have to.
Yeah. It's so different from like the Mario that I literally just met in the Super Nintendo world. Like it's just a completely different universe and character. Like it's so strange. The humor, I don't get it. But man, I wish it was better. I wish it was like the Sonic movies, you know. But it's
I like the Sonic movies too. I like the Mario movie, and I love
the Sonic movie.
I think maybe because I went into the Mario movie with like very, very low expectations.
Oh yeah,
I really thought they were gonna like completely demolish it, and the fact that I actually like enjoyed myself. Like there are certain sequences. I feel like had they leaned more into the classic music as opposed to like the licensed music for things like the Donkey Kong thing, I would have been super happy with that. Like, do I love Chris Pratt as Mario? No. Like they could have definitely done something else, but like for the most part, I didn't hate it, which I think is more than what I was expecting.
It's just it's just a weird movie.
And I love the weird little macabre Luma that wants to die. Like, I like him. I don't know. I want more of him. Give a whole sequel movie with Rosalina and the little macabre Luma. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'd watch that.
Rosalina movie for sure.
Yeah.
Starring Vanessa Kirby. Mm.
There you go. It's Rosalina. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Live action Rosalina. That's what I want.
They have it still animated by Illumination, but then live action Vanessa Kirby as Rosalina.
Just live action Vanessa Kirby
superimposed in the middle.
Oh,
that's crazy.
With little swoopy bangs and everything.
I'm very lost right now because I don't know who that is, and I'm just reminded like yesterday. No, I don't know who this Kirby woman is, but like
she's an invisible woman in Fantastic Four now. So
That doesn't help at all. But Colin was like, I added this new song called Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter to my playlist. I was like, I don't know what that is. I was like,
really
the woman
funny.
who doesn't wear pants. I was like, her? And he's like, I don't know what that means.
No, Sabrina Carpenter.
Their way around
Sabrina Carpenter voicing Daisy would actually go hard though. That would actually be like legitimately good. You give her like, you make her like a tomboy, give her like a good big musical number, have her literally sing Espresso.
Ooh.
Like, done.
That'd be cool.
Lock it in. I'm sold.
Yeah. All right. Okay, final writing here from Sina Sarati. Hey, Pineapple Punchers. I just recently picked up an analog pocket to play some hacked Pokemon games and some of my original Game Boy games and Game Gear. Do y'all recommend any OG games for me to pick up now that I have a console that can play original games? I'd like to go to my local game store and start supporting them by buying some old games. Please give me some recommendations. All right,
for Game Boy or Game Gear?
For his analog pocket. So analog pocket can play like every Game Boy game. OG, Color, Advance. So quite a lot
Kirby
to choose
Tilt
from.
and Tumble is pretty fun, actually. I just recently did a playthrough of that on stream.
Tilt and Tumble.
That game kind of slaps. The little accelerometer thing where you like flip the thing. Kirby's got his horrific scream every time he dies. That's like in the little 8-bit sound.
Pokemon Pinball is awesome too.
Yeah, Pokemon Pinball is a great pick.
Classic
really
good
game.
pick. Yep.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to
Conker's Pocket Tales. Conker's Pocket Tales is a good one.
Huh, I haven't played that.
That was Conker when it was still an E-rated franchise.
Oh, when he was like
that was coming out. Yeah,
Diddy Kong Racing Conker.
Yeah. So it was meant to be the paired game with 12 Tales when Conker was still going to be like a happy-go-lucky E-rated platformer. And the game has like a really weird visual style to it, and the main like overworld music's actually kind of catchy. And it's just a fun little romp. So if you're looking for like a fun little rare romp of like what Conker could have been before he started smoking and drinking and peeing all over the place, I feel like that's your vibe. Yeah.
Obviously the Zelda games on Game Boy, all of them are good. So maybe those. Castlevania games on Game Boy Advance are very good as well. The three of them. Circle of the Moon, was it Harmony of Dissonance, and Aria of Sorrow? Aria of Sorrow. Those are all really good. Gene, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, Pokemon Pinball.
Oh yeah, sorry, you said that. Yeah,
choice.
that's right.
Donkey Kong 94.
Oh yeah, great pick.
Another great choice.
Yeah, which is also I think it's on NSO, right? But still a great game.
Still, yeah. Micah, what about you? Anything you could think of?
I mean, I got filtered by Breath of Fire on Game Boy Advance, but I still recommend checking it out.
Okay.
So I liked what I played. I just got very frustrated very fast.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, that reminds me. The Final Fantasy 4 and 6 are good on Game Boy Advance also, if you can find those. They're probably, I don't know how expensive they are, but they're good versions.
Game Boy Advance, too. The Sonic Advance series are awesome,
Oh, yeah.
The
great
Sonic
picks.
Advance are actually really good. Yeah. Oh, I got one. How did I not say this? It's going to sound crazy, but actually I mean it. This is really good. The Hamtaro games. The Hamtaro.
Oh my God. You guys are so late.
So hold on.
It's crazy.
So I got over here. I got my original Hamtaro Game Boy Color right here. And I got, this is the second game that came out in Japan. This is Hamtaro. Ham it.
Oh man.
Bro, these games are fire.
Man. Dude, Game Boy packages in Japan look so good.
So good. And the fun fact about these games in particular, for people who don't know, this was actually told to me at the Nintendo Museum, is that the first of the Hamtaro Game Boy games was directed by Sakamoto-san of Metroid fame. And there was basically like a personality quiz in that game that told you like what hamster you're best linked with. And essentially that tech that they used for this personality quiz is the reason the Miis exist on the Wii. That literally like the Mii Maker thing was structured around this personality quiz from Hamtaro. And they straight up said that is the direct connection, which I think is pretty cool. So if you want a direct connection to how the Miis were made, pick up the Hamtaro games on Game Boy Color.
Damn, cool.
Yeah.
Micah, you weren't kidding. You did like Roger. He loves Hamtaro as well, like you.
Hamtaro and Cracker Barrel, bro. That's perfect.
Ham Heartbreak. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ham ha all day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm at a ham squee. This is great.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Roger, thank you for joining us, man. It's great to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
thanks
likewise.
for chatting.
This was delightful.
Yeah.
Absolutely delightful.
People want to learn more about you, they could follow you on your YouTube channel, RogersBase. You're on social media, I'm sure. Yeah,
YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, everything. RogersBase, brand unity everywhere. And yeah, I've got that Epic Universe video coming real soon. You might see a little guest appearance from Gene in that, which will be fun.
Ooh.
And so yeah, that vlog should be coming out end of this week or right before Switch 2 launch. And then obviously I'll be doing launch coverage of Switch 2 and a full playthrough of Donkey Kong Bonanza. So lots of great Nintendo stuff coming up in the near future. Absolutely. And of course, again, if you like One Piece, I do the One Piece manga, cover it every single Sunday alongside the official release. We talk about it, have a whole live stream, react to the anime episodes, read the manga. It's a good time. So yeah,
absolutely. Gene, Micah, thank you for joining me as always, my two lovely co-hosts. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here? Any thoughts?
I just want to say I've become obsessed with this woman who posts her grocery store hauls on YouTube. And I was up until 4 a.m. last night watching these. She spent $1,000 at Costco. It was all food.
Holy moly. What's her name?
I know.
Yeah, give a shout out.
The channel is Kate Koska. It's Kate spelled like Kate Sith. So CAIT.
Oh, okay.
Kate Koska on YouTube. Darling woman. And she goes to Kroger and Aldi. And I'm just watching her weekly shopping trip. She's like, here's what I bought this week. And I don't know why. It sounds horrible. But there's something about it. She's going through all her groceries and saying how much they cost. And there really is something about watching this woman and seeing what she bought for, they have a family of 5. So it's completely different than me shopping just for the 2 of us. I'm obsessed. Right here, I'm obsessed with this woman's channel now, watching her shopping videos.
7,000 subscribers. I love finding small YouTube like content creators. That's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's super sweet and friendly, and I'm just like, I want to see what you bought at Kroger. Hell yeah, dog. Tell me more.
All right, everybody, we are gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys next episode. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Let's go.
Punching Up, a Nintendo podcast, is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Bradley Ellis. My co-hosts are Gene Park and Micah Moriarty. The show is edited and produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Punching Up, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your kind contributions and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.